Okay, OBS isn't answering right now. There we go. Okay. So now, the welcome sign is on. Just did this like not long. Oh, I see why. I was doing it from the wrong screen. It's easier to do this if I'm doing it from the GM screen. There we go. And 7 cards 2. Okay, there we go. Now it says that Mick only has the 1 card. It says that Mikael only has 1 card. I don't know why.
I think you only passed out 1 to him, or to her rather than all 7.
Oh. Okay. Recall all of those. Boop. And 7 to. So much easier to do this from the GM screen.
No.
There we go. Boom. Okay. And with that, I'll just go live then. How about that? Are you going to use your camera?
I don't currently have one.
Oh, okay. We'll have to remedy that at some point.
Yes.
Alright, good evening everyone, and welcome to session 7 of the Raven's Purge campaign. And we had so many things happening last session of traumatic natures for characters, including Marita. Where is she? She is in Frida's arms, I think.
Well, parts of her are here and parts of her are over there.
I think she's mostly intact.
Wherever her parts are.
I think she's mostly intact. It was really just the head that was malfunctioning.
There was a crushed skull, so...
Indeed.
Let this be a lesson. Do not overcast.
Be careful with overcasting at the very least. As you might notice, we have a bigger cast and a different cast with us tonight, which is lovely. 5 players at the table instead of 4. So why don't we start with introductions? Screen-wise, Josh, from left to right.
Sure. So I am playing Raynar, our lovely half-elf frailer sorcerer, and I like to smite demons whenever possible.
and Frida will be back in a moment. So Chris?
Yes, I'm Chris. Up till last week I was playing Marita, the kind of headstrong druid. Again, it's not be careful with overcasting, it's don't overcast. So I'll be bringing in a new character named Soren today.
Indeed. And alas, Jeremy is no longer with us because of life commitments that do not agree with the gaming schedule. But Mikael is here. You are muted.
There we go. Hi, I'm Michaela. I'm playing Big, or Big, B-E-A-G, Halfling Master of Manipulation, I hope. And it's my first time playing, so try and take it easy on me.
have a second character ready. That goes for everyone, really. It's Forbidden Lands. Excellent. You're very welcome to the table. And then Mike B.
What, me?
Yes, you.
Hi, I'm Mike B. Or B. I'm playing Celestial Passage, the half-elf Elven Spring Druid, here to help the world balance itself and to deal with the Frailer's oversights and issues. The poor, mistaken scum that he is.
Exactly. That's going to go over well, I'm sure.
I'm sure, totally. Extra characters always ready.
I don't know.
Yep.
It might be auspicious in a way that it turned out that Brainar's character is on one end of this line, and Celestial Passage is on the other end. I don't know if that's going to say anything about the personalities, but yeah, we'll see. Excellent. So yes, welcome indeed. Of course, the latter three characters, Soren, Biag, and Celestial Passage, will join at a dramatically appropriate moment, as they say. Because right now that we are in Fort Riverstone, things are burning and being generally terrible. Before we jump into the action, I do want to say a shout out to Hellhag Productions for the extremely wonderful overlays and all the tokens, the artwork, which is awesome. She managed to put together some really good, nice graphics for us. And also to audiences that this is a show rated R. This is not a nice world. It's kind of like Warhammer in a way. Life can be short, nasty, and brutish. People do, or I should say factions, organizations do terrible things to others. There are glimpses of light, to be sure. People who are trying to do good. See Celestial Passage. I'm sure he thinks he's doing good things. But who knows if they are right about it and how long they might last. We've already had a lot of cruelty to go around that the characters have met. So be prepared for that. Anyhow, with that out of the way, at the end of this session, we will have, in fact, another cutscene and an epilogue like we did last session. The shadow players are doing things in the shadows. The leaders of various factions out there in the Forbidden Lands are working their nefarious plans and cunning schemes. And one such moment of scheming we pre-recorded about a week ago, and it will be attached to the end of the stream like we did 2 weeks ago. It's not going to happen every stream necessarily. It really depends on what kind of cool scenes and shenanigans that the shadow players are up to. But tonight we have one. So if you want to be spoiled about what's happening behind the scenes, do keep watching when we're done with the players right in front of you. So that is all those things out of the way. Now we throw ourselves back into the action. It is the night of... well, the early morning by this time or the night between the 11th and 12th of Springrise. A lot of Fort Riverstone is burning after goblins on a mayhem, farmers rising up against their hereditary liege lady Nirinda, who may or may not be alive. Last time we saw her, she was in a dungeon, locked in there, and someone kind of dropped a torch in a bale of hay. And then the player characters the adventurers went to confront a demon and lost one of their numbers doing so, but also managed to vanquish this demon. And now Frida and Brynnar are basically taking Marita's corpse to the dwarven camp outside the fort. Since Jess is taking a little bit longer with the minions, because, you know, bedtime is like that sometimes. Parents game too. This is true. We can actually jump into the dramatically appropriate moment with Soren, Biag, and Celestial Passage right away. We discussed before this that you would be somewhere in the vicinity of Fort Riverstone and see from afar, if you will, the fires from the fort that are bigger than campfires.
You guys sure you want to go there?
Well, it does seem to draw the attention.
All right. You know those aren't campfires, right?
I am well aware the color and dispersal of the smoke is most unpleasant.
Well, I did promise that I would get you to the fort, so we still got a little ways to walk. And I'll kind of keep my spirit there ready, and I'll keep I don't know if it's Big or Biag, but I'll keep her close just in case anything untoward happens.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay behind you where it's safer because you know the way a lot better than I do. And just call me B just to avoid any problems, or I'll just stay back here and sting you.
All right.
I shall have my head on a swivel, watching out for anything as we approach.
Yeah, you will get closer and closer, and as you do, you will hear screams and shouts from inside the fort. You can see the palisade is silhouetted against the fires and smoke that is rising from inside, and there are fires and smoke from outside the palisades as well. Barns or farmhouses or other wooden structures, anything flammable basically. So it's roaring, and the closer you get, the more illuminated. It's no longer night as far as you're concerned. You can see everything quite clearly at this point as sharp black silhouettes against these flames, and you can see how the flames are throwing up sparks and that will travel across the palisades. If there's any dry grass on these plains, and there might well be, it hasn't been raining too much lately, this could turn into even worse in a while. And you can hear screams from inside too. There's some alarm going off. Apparently a bell is still in function, but there's also screams of pain and not just alarm from inside.
That's the content I've seen in a long while. Are you two looking for anybody in particular?
I was looking for more trade and safe passage, more importantly than anything else. I've heard there was some action going on, well, where the action is obviously coming from, so I think we should keep going.
Off to the right, you will be able to, from where you're traveling, because you're obviously coming from the east, walking from on the other side of Fort Riverstone is a lake. You will be able to see silhouetted against the fires a small camp set up. It's maybe 100 meters or 150 meters outside the palisade. It has not seemingly been sacked yet. It's still far off in the distance. You can see small sort of gleaming. This is campfire type of gleams instead of calamitous structures on fire type of gleams. Much more controlled flames. And there are people walking in front of those fires every once in a while. You can see those silhouetted.
Well, that's a point of interest.
Yeah, and that means we don't have to go, there.
There is that. We can at least get more information regardless.
Or some respite. This walk has been really hard on me.
Oh, you've done magnificently.
Yeah,
Hardly know that you're a city folk.
It'll toughen you up a bit. I mean, I don't know about you, but a horse is way outside my capabilities, so it's going to be a lot of walking because I don't think there's going to be much need for trade here. On the other hand, people are going to need building supplies. But yeah, we'll make our way to that camp. I will keep my spear at the ready just in case they're not friendly.
I use my staff, treating it as a walking stick, but it's still a staff.
We can have a scouting roll from the best of the three. Who would be best at scouting of you three?
Sorry about the late join, guys. I had some tiny humans give me a hard time.
That can happen. Been there, done that. Who has the best scout roll of the three of you? Let's see now. Celestial Passage.
Just gonna say 7. It's not me.
Okay. How about Soren?
I've got 6.
I have 7 plus my spyglass.
Then Celestial Passages is. That's an obscene 9 dice.
A spyglass?
Yep.
Freaking city folk.
It's my one trade hood.
If you can't see it with your naked eye, you're not meant to see it.
Have you learned how to use the Roll20, B?
I generally know, but I do see on my sheet there's like the option of actually rolling all the different dice.
Right, so what you do is you go in on your scouting, you click that skill.
Yeah.
Then it turns red. You can add 2 dice of gear dice there, under that column.
Okay.
And then you press roll, the D20 thing.
Excellent. Okay, that makes sense.
And then it rolls. Woohoo! 3 successes. You can see far before you come anywhere close to anything dangerous. Up towards the north, quite a ways away from you right now. There's a group of riders, maybe 4 of them, and ahead of them, very tiny shapes, about the size of B, actually, Biag, but bluer in the light. Very much larger ears than hers as well. Are they goblins, perhaps? They seem to be chased by these riders. And they're now, so on your right then, on your furthest right, you have this group. And then in the middle, you have the camp that seems ordered. And then further to the left, you have Fort Riverstone and the Raging Fires.
But come on, let's go save these guys. Right now, let's go.
Are you paying me to go save people?
I told you what...
You're paying me to get you someplace safe.
Paid you to get me someplace safe, but they need you right now, and I'm saying this is part of your job. You'll get a little bit extra, perhaps, and maybe they'll give you a little bit too.
Yeah, that way looks safe. That way does not.
Keep in mind, they might take whatever weapons and arms they have, come back better armed and easier, and from our behind.
Yeah, you're still young and naive, aren't you?
Just the possibility of some horses involved.
That
go
could
to
be...
the... Oh, I think you cut out there.
That could be really useful for us because my feet hurt.
Yeah, I don't think you're big enough to ride a horse. Must be this tall to get on the ride.
Is that an option for yourself or for the horse?
Well,
Imagine their saddles.
Tell you what, if you keep walking and you lose a little bit of that halfling punch, we'll talk about like piggybacks.
How generous.
But for the time being, why don't we go to the camp? A, they may know what's going on. B, I'm not going into a fight where I'm outnumbered.
So you're just saying you're not good enough to fight off a couple horsemen?
Sure. I'm willing to go with that.
At this point, seeing as you had 3 successes on this one, Celestial Passage, I'm going to say that you will see, as your spyglass is sweeping across the horizon, it's hard to see because it's so dark, but you will be able to see the shapes of one wolfkin and one fairly slender person, and the wolfkin is carrying a third person in her arms. As they're making their way towards that campsite.
Oh, looks like we'll be meeting another group of wayward adventurers on the way to the camp.
See, I don't mind that because there's only 2 of them. And there's, I'll say 3 of us.
That other one looks pretty big from what I can't really see very well.
Oh, you'll see better when we get closer to the fire.
All right.
You wanted respite? Here comes some respite.
There you go. See, you can't go fighting people on horseback when your feet are sore.
Fair enough.
Meanwhile, by the camp, Brenner and Frida are getting back to the dwarven encampment. Hamda is bringing up the rear. Your dwarven warrior
Frida
friend.
will immediately just take Marita's body somewhere private and begin prepping for funeral rites.
You will notice
She doesn't say anything, she doesn't speak, she just takes the body and begins to prep.
Yeah. Brenner then maybe, who is not working on that as intensely, will notice that the Trimbletwine brothers have ordered their servants to pack the camp. And Bodgar is coming up to you. Oh, there you are. What has happened? And then he sees Marita's body, and oh no! Green Walker is with him as well. I saw everything, says Green Walker.
Yes, unfortunately, there's been losses on many parts, but we were able to dispose of Narinda.
This was not supposed to be like this, says Green Walker, and is clearly in shock over how this evening has turned out. We were supposed to do good. There's so much suffering.
Green Walker, I don't know if you can find solace in this, but we were in Marita's last breath. She removed a demon from the fort.
Oh, thank the gods for that, at least.
The new Raven sister actually was another demon that arrived.
By the gods, this place has been forsaken, has it not? I will help Frida, and Green Walker leaves to attend to the body. And
Frida growls at him.
Yeah, he will keep a distance because he's not. But he will try to bring up his own holy symbols and whatnot and try to help out at a distance.
She'll let him speak over it or whatever,
Yeah.
but she won't let him touch her.
Yeah, that's pretty much what he's going to do, and takes up some soil and we need a shovel, don't we? Are we safe?
I don't
here?
know. I
And
don't
he's
know how you do
looking around.
funeral rites. Where I come from, we burn it.
Oh, he says. And that is kind of the scene that Soren and company will see when you get close enough for these different people and personages to be more clearly visible in the dark and against the flames. A group of dwarves running back and forth between tents and picking things down, packing things together. There's a boat down by the water. And this other motley crew busy with other things. One dwarven warrior will in fact walk up to you and slam her axe on a shield and say, "Who goes there?"
B, I believe this is where you shine.
Oh, just a wayward group. We're here just in search of, temporary respite right now. and we were looking for safe passage through.
Oh, you looked at the wrong spot tonight, did you not? There are goblins out there, points with the axe. Saurians down there, points towards the fort. Fires, demons. Well, I suppose this is the only real safe place you can find. If you are who you say you are. And who are you? What?
My name's Soren. I'm just a guide.
I am Celestial Passage. Just a guide.
Beg, a weary traveler. In search of somewhere better to be than here right now, but this'll do.
You're setting the bar way too low.
Any storm in a port.
This dwarven warrior, she's looking at you, and we'll keep an eye on you anyway. Won't turn away strangers on a night like this, but keeping an eye on you.
Well, that's my modus operandi. You're supposed to keep an eye on me.
Well, it's better keep an eye on us than us have to worry about the riders and the goblins over there.
Goblins aren't that scary of a thing. I've traded with them many a time.
You hear a howl in the background?
Oh, what the fuck?
Wolfkin.
Yeah, I think that I'll get the pronunciation right.
Just call me Big.
Big. Have heard those kinds of howls many times before, living not too distantly from Wolfkin lands.
Yeah, absolutely. I have heard those, and that is not just a wolf. That is a wolfkin. And depending on their mood and if they've fed, we might be either in really good company or lunch.
Peachy. Alright, I'm just gonna find, any place on the ground relatively close to the fire and plop down and grab my blanket and mutter under my breath about stupid-ass agreements to take people to safe places while I try to catch some shut-eye.
Frida will start making the fire massive.
Yeah. Any
Soren's
remaining
boots are gonna melt.
Any remaining wood will be spent in the fire. Green Walker is
And
helping.
if I remember correctly, I cut down a lot of it.
Yes, you did. You cut down a lot of it, indeed. Green Walker is sort of helping out and then looking around and... Celestial Passage, is that you? And walks over.
Green Walker, what a surprise.
What brought you here?
Feet. Big. Fate.
Fate indeed. Do I have so many things to tell you? I don't even know if we'll last the night. Green Walker looks scared.
Oh, we'll last the night. We have a good company here, it seems. I have a good feeling.
Oh, these are honorable people, and uses his hand to indicate Brenar and Frida and Hamda, but then looks towards the fort. We vanquished 2 demons here. Can you believe it?
2?
Yes, one was in a book, the other took the shape of an old lady.
That is amazing. It's
Indeed.
fortuitous.
But we lost one very brave druid like us. She had so much potential.
It's quite unfortunate.
It was through her sacrifice that we vanquished the second one.
Sometimes maintaining the balance comes at a great cost.
It does. The Tribbletwine brothers, meanwhile, are still working hard on packing up the camp.
It's like only doors pack up the camp in the middle of the night, just saying.
Bodgar has been sent to get the boat, and he's sort of trying to organize loading the boat. You can hear Brennar. You can hear Thulman muttering something about how these nefarious plans have cost them so much, and what are we doing here? And we should never have come, and we need to go right now. And where is that halfling lady? And right there.
Frida begins building the structure over the fire.
Yeah.
I'll actually look around to see if she is anywhere near the encampment.
She is, in fact, not.
Perhaps we should have heeded that warning. Raynard mumbles under his breath.
Or
That's
Bodgar
fine. I'll remember this.
Bodgar is maybe she got lost in the fighting. We can't simply assume that she was.
Maybe she's busy
nefarious
taking
in
over
intent.
office now that it's empty.
Or she's being slain, perhaps. Last time I saw her, she was leading the farmers. I haven't seen her
Well,
since.
Hate to say it, but whenever the dust settles, we'll be able to figure out what's left of the ruins. So, as far as the rest of you here, obviously you're packing up and leaving.
The brothers want to leave, yes.
We appreciate your efforts. For what it's worth.
The passage is open now. No one is going to stop our wares from going through. And it will be, in fact, for free. So, I suppose they're right about that.
So I guess we did achieve what we set out to do originally, removing taxation. At a cost, of course.
At a cost. Yeah. Bodgar is not necessarily looking terribly pleased and just really stressed out at this point. Yeah, there has been so much talk about a halfling lady, and you're just standing right there.
The quieter we are, the less likely they're to notice big.
Sometimes being small is kind of useful.
Mm-hmm.
It's at this point that Frida brings Marita's body over to the fire pit. And once she has placed the body on the fire pit, she seems completely to ignore everybody else, everything else around her. She takes her claws, digs it into Marita's chest cavity, rips out her heart, and begins to consume it.
Green Walker's. What? Huh. He can't really articulate anything at this point, but he does look rather shocked.
Well, that's a brutal tradition.
If Beeg is familiar with Wolfkin, she would know that this is a Wolfkin funeral rite.
That's why I'm not really entirely phased. I'm just kind of looking around the group to see, well, who I can swindle.
Yeah, there aren't too many people involved in or inclined towards trading or listening to songs at the moment.
Right, but as far as I can tell right now, the protector that I hired is not really keen on protecting me.
I got you someplace safe. Go to sleep.
Protecting's hard work. He needs nap. Do you think this gruff takes no effort from him?
That's right. It's a hot lot of effort to be this cheery.
Yeah, while the funeral rites go on, the dwarves fill up the boat with their trade goods. Thulman is complaining, "Look at all the iron we lost on this venture. And traveling at night in a boat."
Is he anywhere near Frida?
No. Not
Anywhere near
No.
her?
I would say short distance. Not near.
Okay.
He's
He's too far then.
My boots will get wet from getting into this boat.
Alright, yeah, no, she's done. I pick up a rock and I hurl it at his head. Shut up. I am sick and tired of hearing your bitching and your whining about your material goods. If I have to hear it for one more second, You will feel my fucking teeth.
Will you, do you want to roll for that? To actually do
That's
Sure.
Because you can do actual harm with that thing. Which is a marksmanship roll. It's -2 because it's dark.
You want a marksmanship roll, or do you just want me to scare him?
No, it's up to you, really. You know, how
I'm
hard
mostly
do you wanna
just
hit
trying
him?
to scare him, so I'll roll
Yeah.
my might.
Okay, that works.
Nope, I don't
Really?
scare him at all.
That's the third might roll you've done straight without a single success.
It's difficult to be scary through, like, the tears.
Yeah, and also you're far away, everyone is distracted by everything.
Yeah.
There's a large splash. Not close enough to Thulman to make him go off on another rant about the discomforts of being on the trek. But it does speed Thulman into the boat, at least.
Thought it might.
The older brother is also getting in, and Bodgar is doing so as well. Basically, all the dwarves.
Brynjar will actually go down to see them off before Brodgar would actually get in. He would hand him over his most valuable object that he has, his crystal ball, and basically say, I know it's not much, but this is all that I can provide for your loss for what you've done for us here.
He accepts it and he bows very deeply, so that his hood actually falls down over his face. Thank you kindly, sir. This is a great sacrifice for you, and I know that. I will honor it.
And then he'd wait and see them off from the shoreline.
Yeah. As you do that, the rest of you will notice that the riders who were speeding north before are now coming back. They seem to ignore this camp and just go straight down towards the palisades. There's still 4 of them. One of them has a scimitar out. You can see the shine on the blade from the flames as they ride past. But other than that, you're unaccosted.
With flames that high.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can feel even the heat from this distance, and the roar of the flames, and the smell that's just permeating
the smell
everything.
is probably not pretty.
It's a mix of several different scents.
Yay, wood, fire, long pork.
Yes.
You, large furry one. The other one I hired is sleeping right now. Could you be so kind as to vanquish these enemies for us?
Not asleep yet. You guys are way too loud.
Excuse you?
Can never tell if you're asleep or awake.
I have a name. You could have asked.
Could have asked.
What's your name?
Frida. Yours?
Celestial Passage.
Thank you.
This is Big.
Hi, Big.
That's Soren the Grump.
I'll kind of roll to my feet. It's very obvious that I'm not going to sleep anytime soon.
I can vouch for
Brynjar would
Celestial...
probably come up from the shoreline at this point, too.
I can vouch for Celestial Passage, says Greenwalker. We have studied together in the past.
Didn't you try to vouch for the Raven sister too? She kind of grumbles.
I had not met the Raven sister personally. I only know them by reputation. Well, I've met some other Raven sisters personally, but not these ones.
Fair enough.
Know them by reputation.
Pretty sure I remember hearing about a Frida a few years ago. Are you related to Genesis?
No.
Just shoot me down right away.
No.
I love the no, I'm not related to anyone you could possibly know before you finish naming them. This is the best game.
Every time I go to a place, it's like, oh, do you know so-and-so? Yes, of course, he's my brother. But no, in this case, I thought you guys were, like, closely knit in relation.
No.
That's quite assumptive.
Sometimes assuming things is not always the wrong thing.
And sometimes it gets you killed.
Well, why don't you channel that anger and aggression towards the people that are coming to kill us?
Did you not see the funeral pyre? There's been a lot of channeling here.
Now, I know we're all upset and scared and maybe a bit angry as well. Anyone who's traveling with Celestial Passage must surely be a person of some character, of good character, yes. I'm sure.
Oh, I hope so.
They seem to be a little ball of passive-aggressive sarcasm.
You can be aggressive, but that has never served me well in the past.
No, generally not.
Anyway, little one, you were saying something, people coming to kill us?
Yeah, looks like the trouble is coming to us. I'll be over here where it's bright and safe.
Do you have any weapons?
I have a flute.
So no.
Is your flute magical in any way, at least?
That's kind of personal.
Oh my.
I'll show you later, maybe, if you survive.
If people are more
thanks.
pleasant.
That's my bad. Been watching too much Critical Role. I have Scanlan fever.
So are we concerned
Whoa,
about
name
the
dropping.
concerned about the little ones running around or the ones on horseback?
I'm concerned about the frailer across the way.
The what? Because the goblins are our friends. They're fine. Don't worry about them.
Rainer's
There's horsemen
taking,
chasing them.
Rainer's taking even more of a look now currently at Celestial Passage.
Admire.
Should we be checking them for demonic energies? That's your thing.
I don't know, you're the one throwing people into funeral pyres, so...
That is a traditional heritage rite.
I get that. I appreciate that. I'm just saying, we're not lugging around dead bodies in our wake.
We just lost someone very dear this evening, so...
Who died killing demons.
Well, I didn't know that.
Right, well, I'm not a demon. Celestial Passage isn't a demon. Big isn't a demon.
No, most
So-
of the demons I met are less sarcastic.
Can we concentrate on the things that might be coming to kill us? Maybe.
That's the hard part about dealing with civilized and non-civilized people. They're much more of a pain in the ass than demons.
So the goblins are your friends.
Yes, the goblins will not harm me.
The horsemen clearly aren't.
All right. Well, I mean, I'm not going to say it's the first time I've killed somebody for a horse, but
I mean,
I could always use a snack.
or
Soren
if I
will,
could ride them.
Yeah, riding them would be a lot better.
Soren
Who says
will,
I was talking about the horse?
I am available whenever you need me.
Soren will definitely recognize the riders as Asleens.
Oh. It's my people. I wonder what they're doing this far.
That is a bit odd, yeah.
Well, are we sure they're actually enemies and not just involved in this whole thing?
Yeah, they could just be involved in this whole thing. Probably trying to come to the save of the local encampment.
They're kind of late.
So let's assume that they're not coming to kill us until they actually do something aggressive.
Sure. Since we got a nice fire going, why don't we metaphorically crash here for this evening, and one of us can, or multiple of us, can take watch until morning.
Sounds like a plan. Do you guys have anything to eat? Any ale? Any wine? Any ale?
Frida, opens just basically a pack of food. Because I've been cooking in a kitchen for 12 for the last week.
It's true.
Any ale?
No.
Renner, do we have booze? Or was that all on Marita?
If there was, it's probably on the fire.
I thought you emptied her pack first.
Last time I seen the pack, it was on. Wasn't it on Marita?
No, I would have taken it off before I threw it on the fire.
Yeah, you might want to stand back if it is on the fire.
So, Brainar will look around for this pack.
Alright, you'll be able to find it without too much trouble.
If it was on her body, I would have left it where I was preparing things.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I'll bring it over and search for any possible beer, wines, vin, anything like that.
Some candles, some clay, some bandages, some snare wire. That's about it.
Yeah, so no beer or wine or anything of the like. Sorry.
Okay, no problem. The day started off crappy. Why would it get any better?
Go raid town.
Right. Well,
That
Let's
might
just,
be a possibility.
let's just kind of keep an eye on things just in case stuff gets hairy. But let's not start any more trouble. How's that sound?
I make no promises.
Wasn't asking you. I will kind of like arch my eyebrows at B when I say, let's not start any trouble.
Mm.
Don't want nothing, won't be nothing.
As I'm eating, I will begrudgingly admit that the food is quite tasty.
Thank you. Glad to know somebody has some taste.
Mhm.
No, it's actually really good. We should probably keep you around for more than just keeping us alive.
Or for sniping at verbally.
That's just a bonus for me.
That is true.
You and I really aren't going to get along, are we?
No.
That's fine. I'm sure you'll taste fine with tomatoes.
No, not
Crawl
at all.
between your teeth by the look of it.
All right. So it doesn't look like there's going to be much trade in this town there. Are there any other outposts or anything nearby? Maybe, maybe
Not
we can
not
make
that
our way
you can
there.
see. Nothing close by that you can see.
You two, are you guys sticking around here, or?
Not other than maybe a day or so, just to make sure that the city exchanged hands properly.
Make sure the dust settles where it's supposed to settle.
Hmm.
But
you
other
guys
than
are,
that, we have no
you
commitment
guys are
for here.
responsible for this shit?
Partially, there was a rebellion and a change of hands in government. We may or may not have aided that change in hands.
You started an entire coup just by yourselves?
We had
No.
some help.
So, let me tell you the story.
Regale us.
Yes, I'm going to regale you with my 2 empathy.
Oh dear.
We walk into town, find out that because of this little encampment, everybody's being overtaxed to do trade. We talked to the dwarves that you just seen on your way in and convinced them, along with ourselves, to try and negotiate with the local townsfolk to change the taxes, which they won't go ahead and do. And from there, we then find out that they're doing wrongful imprisonment of, certain kin.
That's when we find out that the religious leader is serving a demon.
Oh, yeah, thank you. So that was the first demon.
And the head of the government is in a relationship with the demon worshiper and possibly killing people by execution to feed said demon.
So then we worked with a couple local guilds, the dwarves, friendly goblins, that's actually pretty close from here, and nearby farmers that was repressed.
Killed the first demon, took down the local leader. A second demon showed up to take the place of the religious leader. We killed that demon, which is when our friend Marita died. because it somehow blew her head off, literally. And yeah, now there's a coup.
And now you're caught up.
So there's no longer cheap trade and high taxes anymore?
Correct. Basically, the dwarves that left here literally left with the intent of being able to trade now scot-free without taxes. We also broke out the prisoners that was wrongfully imprisoned. That was quite literally doing nothing wrong.
The local leader should be imprisoned in the bottom of the tower.
Probably dead by now.
Tomorrow. Dead.
So
Yeah, didn't you see the torch I threw?
No.
The tower that was like spouting flames when we came by?
Apparently.
Okay.
We were supposed to leave her alive so she could be executed properly.
I'm sure she was alive at one point.
Brenner.
She was a demon. She needed to go down, regardless.
She was gonna go down.
Cleaning up the scene of the crime.
Alright.
We Frailers do what we have to.
Well, maybe in the cold light of morning we can survey the handiwork and see whether there's anything worth doing in this town or whether we should be pressing on.
No, with the size of this fire, how can you tell if it's morning or night?
I
Because
know.
it's fired, that means it's night.
I can't see the goblin encampment from here.
Have you not seen a proper funeral pyre before? Like, really?
It tends to dissuade people from wanting to do commerce when there's dead people being cooked.
Sometimes returning one to nature is less flamboyant.
Culture has their own ways.
She does return, says Green Walker.
Frida walks away. She's just kind of done with the lot of you.
Before you go, can I have seconds?
He throws the bag of food back at you.
We're done with us, but we're not done with your food.
Excellent. Well, I mean, there's only so many things you can cook in a cauldron. And I'm tired of, boiled root and some boiled meat.
This is certainly a step up. It's very fresh, some of this stuff. Freshly hunted.
Yeah, there's venison jerky and fresh meat and all kinds of stuff in there.
Oh, whoever killed this deer, their aim was a little bit off. You can tell by the taste of the meat.
You hear a growl from the background.
I thought you were done with us.
It's still tasty. It's just, if you have better aim, you can get that clean shot and it doesn't taint any of the meat.
Brainer is going ahead and pitching his small tent and going to bed for the evening because it's been a really, really long.
It's been long
day.
indeed. And if it's probably a good idea to. Of course, this camp is much smaller now, given that the dwarves have left. Ochro has disappeared somewhere, probably with his adventure companions. Hamda is gone with the rest of the dwarves. Only really Green Walker left.
It's all right.
We should have somebody keep watch just in case.
That could be a good idea. Green Walker will say, "What if those Saurians killed everyone? Then they could come here, or if the city guards come here."
Alright, I'll pass Green Walker a rock, like a decent sized rock, and I'll say, if you hit them right between the eyes, it'll drop them like a sack of
grab that,
potatoes.
intending for small snack, and then the agitation. That's what I mean. Sadly.
Alright. So So yeah, do we want to arrange watches just in case the Saurians or the Riders or anybody come by?
That could be a good idea.
You hear Braynar already snoring.
Does anybody bother to try to approach Frida about a watch? Because she's left the fire at this point.
I'll be dumb enough to do it.
Okay.
Not a chance in your life.
Hi, I'm the least abrasive. How did I manage this?
Not really sure. You're the only one that bothered to ask my name, so hi.
Hello.
What do you need?
I believe we're planning to try and arrange for watches for the evening. I was wondering if perhaps you would be so inclined.
Sure. That means the rest of them will be asleep already.
Most likely.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, you're welcome. Frida will take a watch.
Very good. And everyone else turns in to sleep.
Soren will stay up just long enough to make sure that Beeg and Celestial Passage are asleep, and then he'll make sure that they're, covered with their blankets and everything so they don't get cold. Then he'll go to sleep.
That's very considerate, I'm sure. Green Walker seems to approve, at least. Green
If I
Walker-
notice he's watching me, I will glare daggers at him and don't say a word.
Okay. Not a word said.
Frida just kind of chuckles to herself and says something about being a wolf mom.
And so, quiet comes over the camp as one after the other, they fall asleep. There's still moaning from inside the fort. There must be some people in there hurt. Frida will see, must be a family of farmers who have just packed a lot of things on a cart and are starting to, before daybreak, move away towards the west. Otherwise, very little happening this night. Everything quiets down. If the Saurians killed everyone, well, I suppose that makes things quiet, but they certainly didn't bother to come up here to check you. Daylight breaks eventually. Frida will be very tired at this point and is going to need some rest after she wakes someone else up. But you've been undisturbed.
I will wake the grumpy one first.
Oh, what?
Your
Oh,
turn.
Oh god, it's another day, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Indeed. It's a chill day, too.
Didn't die in your sleep this night either.
Just about freezing.
Well, there's always tonight.
At this point, Frida will curl up under her fur blanket and go to sleep.
Any water puddles away from the fire have this slight sheen of ice on top.
Yeah.
There is a lot of frost in the grass.
I'll
Some
get up
mist
and I'll
as well.
grab some water and, kind of quick jailhouse bath sort of thing.
You can still hear moaning from inside the palisade.
Frida would have made a quick breakfast before she passed out.
Yeah, the keep, it's still there against, silhouetted against the sky, but it's really scorched.
All right. Well, we should probably let the wolfkin get some sleep.
There's still fires going on from inside, judging by just the smoke billowing up.
Braynar, was it?
Yeah. Oh god, I hate getting old. What's up?
You wanted to go into town and check out, see if things have changed hands properly? Should we let this one get some sleep so she can go with us? Not leave her here by herself, helpless. That seems cruel.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, I wouldn't mind checking out the town just to see if there's anything, that I can pick up.
I don't think any of us are going to pick her up and just carry her along.
Mm.
No, we'll let her get some sleep. I mean, she stayed up all night watching over us.
Mm.
And made breakfast for us before she fell asleep.
She is a good wolf mom.
She is.
Raynor will make sure that she's snoring when he says that.
You seemed cautious saying that. I might mention that later.
Also, yeah, Frida's like at least 2 feet taller than the tallest of you, I think.
All right, so
But I'm a million feet tall.
and big. If you guys can't do your business here, did you have another place in mind?
I was kind of hoping it would be, a profitable place with, corruption and everything going on, but free trade is sometimes pretty good. Maybe we can go somewhere else. I don't know. You should know the area better than us.
I'm not completely familiar with this area. I mean, I know my way through the wilderness. I can survive and lead you to a place, but I need to find a map or something to kind of figure out where exactly we are.
Well, I can fill you in on a little bit that I know. Is north from here, as mentioned, there's a group of goblins who was doing some of the raiding. While we were there, we also ran into true elves that basically seemed to control the lands and didn't really necessarily like either the halfling that was with me at the time or myself in their lands, and seemed to have good relationships with the goblins. South from here, we originally came from Peddler's Rest, but if the Saurians came from the south, it's very highly likely that Peddler's Rest is also taken over by the Saurians.
Mikael, how familiar am I with the general area?
I'm gonna say that's a good question. As an Aisling, this is not terribly far from your lands.
Okay.
Your people are generally south of the Great Lake by Falender, south and east. This is more Islander territory, but someone who is a hunter and walks far and wide, you might know one or two things. Well, let's see now. Do you have any lore to speak of? Not much.
No.
I'm willing, in fact, to give you a survival check instead, because we're talking about sort of lived experience of geography, to give you some bearings on where things might be.
I was wondering if I know of any settlements or anything that might be nearby where they could maybe find some trade. Yeah, I have no idea.
Apparently not.
You know what? Actually, I will push that roll just because I think it might be important for us to have an idea as to where we want to go to.
Fair enough.
Eee.
Okay, you do have an idea. You should have taken away one of the.
I thought I did.
Yeah.
Do you want me to re-roll that then?
Yes, why not? that was kind of bloody. On the other hand, lots of willpower, Trade-off. There we go. Okay, at least one willpower for you. Well, I'm going to give you a couple of points of interest. You would have heard of Peddler's Rest, which is not too far away. and you would have heard of Grindbone as well, because that place has an ill reputation. You will not have heard, if I'm showing you on the map, of this area. There's a village, but that's about it.
Okay,
Don't
but
know anything
I
about
do know that there's a village in that area, or
Yeah.
in that direction.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I don't think you've ever been that far north of the river.
All right.
I'm speculating that you've been sort of around these areas, maybe more
Okay.
there-ish.
So I would know maybe about this little village down here then?
You could know about that, yes. Why not? I'll give you. I think I've already shown you that legend, but if I haven't, I can give it to you.
All right. So while we're having breakfast then and letting Frida rest, I'll kind of get my bearings as to where we are. I'll be like, okay, you're just off the river, the lake there. Peddler's Rest, you said, was south-ish.
So this would be the legend that you have of that particular village.
Hollows, okay. So I believe there's a small village or trading post 3 or 4 days to the northeast, and there's a little kind of dumpy village several days journey to the southeast called the Hollows. I heard I haven't been to the Hollows, but my people have talked about it. They say it's a bit of a dump, kind of the back end of nowhere. Bunch of people, blood mishap, and a bunch of people just hiding, waiting for everything to get better. But the rumor has it is that things did not go well for that particular village, and that the village itself was actually built on maybe a battleground or something, some sort of site of blood and death. But that's probably maybe better part of a week down to the southeast. So I don't know if either of those sound like trading opportunities for you there, Beak, but those are the ones I know of in the area.
Oh yeah. Let's definitely go to the shanty town a week away. That perfectly sounds like a good place for us to go.
Well, there's not a lot of trade options currently at this not-so-shanty town.
At least this place has lots of lumber.
Used.
Well, there is the one up to the northeast. It's on a river, so I might see some more travel.
Okay.
But I've never been there, so I can't tell you anything about it.
And do you know what? Right now, it's probably because we've been to the places you have been, and going to somewhere you haven't been. No offense, you're a creature of the wilderness, not exactly, accustomed to trading with squirrels and raccoons. So I think we're better off where you haven't been yet.
All right, I'll put on my best clothes and smile. How's that?
Well, unfortunately, the places I would like to tread in this area won't do you any good. I doubt there'll be much trading finding the old temple at Palatia.
You still need to do good work for good people, to a degree.
Is everyone awake already? Green Walker sits up.
Well, everyone
just-
except our watch person who requires her sleep.
Yeah.
Oh, hi. Is anyone still alive inside the palisade? Should we go
We're,
in? Should we leave? I don't know.
We're gonna wait for Frida to wake up before we go in. We don't want to leave her sleeping here all by herself.
There have been light wailing, so I assume that there's still those alive suffering.
Should we try to help them? I am no master of the healing arts. I can't say.
We should, but we should also not rush in with all the troubles that there's been.
This is well put.
If they're meant to live, they live. If they're meant to die, they die.
We should probably help them live.
Are you a healer?
I can mend a few broken bones and whatnot.
As can I.
We still can't leave Frida here asleep by herself.
No.
But we do not know if people inside the palisade are hostile to us or not. We know that, well, there was a great fight, but who remains? If it's the farmers, they would be positive towards us. If it's not, I can't believe that either Saurians or town guards will greet us with warmth.
Whoever it is obviously needs help because there's been a battle. So we should help whoever it is and maybe get a reward in between.
Well, you have of course not been seen there before. It would be easier for you to move there than for me.
Then I will lead the way behind these three people.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I suppose the trio will go towards the palisades. You will get to the gate, and it is firmly shut. As you do, outside, you will notice as you're walking up towards the gate, there is at least 2 dead goblins lying out there, and also 1 city guard lying there in a pool of blood. There is just the smoke as you get close. Your eyes are getting teary from all the smoke from the fires, and it's a scene of mayhem. There are barns that have burnt down. You will also notice there's a couple of halfling holes out on the outside of the palisades, but the halflings are packing up.
I will very quickly pat down the guard and the goblins, looking for any obvious weapons or anything.
The goblins have been armed with clubs. The guard had an axe still gripping it. There's a shield splintered nearby. This guard, she's wearing studded leather jerkin and a leather cap.
Mikael, how long will Frida have had to sleep?
You will need to sleep for a quarter day to rest up properly.
Okay.
And is Brainer back at the camp or with the Merry Men?
That's up to you.
Okay, I'll go with the Merry Men.
If you're with them, you might risk, invoking the rage of whomever side doesn't like you.
I'll take one of the clubs. I'll give it to Big. I'll go just in case.
Rainer would be at least less noticeable than Frida.
Yep.
Very well. Yeah, that's the scene basically. The fallen people, small family of halflings packing up a cart really fast and throwing glasses towards you and shooting some daggers towards Brenner.
I would definitely be interested in whatever the halflings are doing. I'd probably try and call out to them to see what's going on.
Yeah, you'll notice that at least one of them is ridiculously drunk.
My kind of people.
What are you doing here? Have some of this. We can't let it go to waste, you see? It sort of hobbles up towards you with a keg that's spilling a little bit of ale.
I will definitely take up some of that and join in.
There you go. That's the spirit. This place is doomed, and we can't bring all these things. Only what you can carry, they said, and I'm going to carry this in my body. That's where I'm carrying it.
It's a fine place for you to put it too.
Indeed. Brollo, at your service. Bows a little bit too deeply and splashes out some of the ale. Oh, shoot!
Tries to lean over to steady him a bit. Big. My name is Big.
You are a fine young lady, aren't you?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I don't recognize you. Do I? Do I recognize you?
No, I'm from over across the other way. But I came in here to see if I could do some trading, probably with you guys. But looks like this is not exactly the best.
No trading here. No trading. It's all gone now.
Yeah, looks like I came here for nothing. There's no trade back there. There's no trade over here, and it looks like the future is kind of bleak. Not exactly the type to take up missionary work, but I'm trying to do the best I can. What can I do here?
Help us get out of here? You can come along. I'm sure there will be space for you. Yes?
Maybe, but there's a lot of stuff going on here right now that looks like they could use some help too.
It's all gone now. We need to go. How do you know you hear from the carriage? They're putting up some extra sacks of belongings.
You go on up ahead. I'm sure that we will meet up with you eventually.
Cheers to that. And takes another really big swig out of that jar and just gives it to you. Just shoves it right in the middle of your chest. Boom. And walks away. Where we go to a future. Stumbles, flaps down on the ground, and then kind of stumbles after the carriage as they carry it away towards the east along the road.
All right. Social passage. Do you know how to use an axe?
I take their
So
silence
to
as a
maim
definite-
someone or to cut a tree?
To defend yourself.
I can defend myself.
Okay. All right.
I'll use a blade if I must, but my staff often works.
Okay. Just if we're going someplace potentially hazardous. But
I suppose.
If you're good with the staff, then excellent.
Well, if it's a short axe, because tight spaces of staff doesn't always work quite so well, as you might know from your own spear.
You'll
Yeah, well,
hear
the spear at least I can jab people with it.
too far away on your... So, let me get back into the right map here.
Although I am thinking that if things are this dicey, we should maybe wait until lunchtime and bring Frida with us just in case.
So I'm going to put your party marker somewhere around there-ish. Somewhere out here in this direction, but extended beyond the edge of the map there, you will hear some wailing and someone crying for help. It's beyond a small hill. There's lots of small hills around here where the halflings have dug into their mounds and had their halfling holes, but yeah, somewhere you can't quite see because the hill is blocking your line of sight.
Okay.
But it's someone. She's crying, help, help. Can somebody help me?
Well, I'm going to look at my two traveling companions, and I know at least one of them is going to say we should go help them. So I'll just wait for that.
We should go help them.
There we go. Green Walker is, of course, next to Frida right now because she shouldn't be alone.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go. All right, this is our good deed for the day, though.
And so you go. You come up on the ridge. There's a small pathway. It's well worn. People have used it for ages to go back and forth into the fort. And it cuts between two halfling hills. Not hobbits. And beyond there, I mean, it used to be a halfling dwelling, but nobody seems to be home at the moment. The round door is closed. There's even a potted plant out of space, like it's been turned up down, and the earth is just kind of scattered over the perfectly led stone tiles that makes up the pathways of this little garden. But outside the actual fencing to this very otherwise pretty yard, there's a girl. She's sitting. She's a human. She must be in her later teens, and she's sitting and holding a man in her arms, and he has a really big gash over his torso, and is looking really pale. And she's sitting there. Somebody help me! And she's just has tears all over her face.
What occurred? What's the matter?
They got him! They got him! The butchers! All of this happened!
You're not making sense. Butchers?
The butchers on horses!
Yeah, we seen them in the distance. Can you tell us where they're going, what they're doing?
Could you help us? Could you help him? I don't know what to do.
Say goodbye.
No, there's we can help. We can help. Just calm down. We got this.
Yeah, You can try to heal.
Yeah,
this person?
I definitely could.
If they're still alive.
You can do it. I don't believe in me.
If I recall correctly, you do have some skill in that.
I don't leave my house. I don't leave my house, thank you. Can we do that by telephone? Anyway, nice talking to you both. It's always nice to talk to you.
Okay, so just to show, if you look at your sheet, you can click the skill, healing. It will then be marked in red, and then you press the roll button.
Where's my sheet?
In Roll20.
If you press the journal tab on your right.
The
right
second tab on the top right.
Yeah.
The one that looks like a newspaper.
There you go. Yeah, and then you press the roll button. That's red and marked with a D20 for some strange reason. Given that this game doesn't use roll D20s. But that's fine.
Yeah, it's just their generic dice.
Yes, it is. There we go. Very good. Yes. You will, in fact, manage to spot... This person is on their last ropes, bleeding profusely. And if you had come here just 5 minutes later, he would have expired. But luckily for this girl and this young man in the prime of life, you're here. And basically what you're doing is just ripping up a whole bunch of cloth that's still clean to plug the wound, and then really bind hard around where you can to limit the bleeding. Also, it could help with some water to wash away the wound, and also replenish. This person is dehydrated. So you managed to do that and stop this person from dying and bleeding out on you. And she's so grateful, this girl. She's just, thank you so much. Thank you so much. You saved him. You're a good deed for the day.
Happy to help for sure. Sometimes doing the right thing is its own reward. In this case, however,
I have nothing.
It doesn't pay for my bills.
I have nothing. She says, I have not. We've lost everything. Our house was in there. It's burned. Everything is gone.
And I will definitely do what I can to help you folks.
Thank you so much. Yeah, she's sitting there and just kind of holding this young man.
All right. While Big is tending to his wounds, I'm going to take a look around, see if I can see any tracks or anything. I mean, a wound like that, the fact that he's not dead yet means they couldn't have gone past terribly long ago.
There will be signs of hoofs for sure, tracks of hoofs. There's also yeah. Let's have a survival roll here for doing a proper tracking. Yeah, you will find all sorts of tracks. People have been running back and forth like crazy. Probably in the past as well, but also fairly recently. There are definitely hoof tracks, but also you see lots of halfling bare feet, possibly goblin bare feet. Hard to tell those two apart. And boots, like the types of boots that the soldiers might be wearing. Sturdy things.
But she said it was the folks on horseback that attacked.
Yep.
The same ones that were afraid to be goblins.
Yeah. So I'll focus on the horse tracks just to see if I can get a general idea as to direction. And
the last you can see is the most fresh you can see. They went in towards the palisades, towards the fort.
All right. So it looks like the people that did this went back inside. I would suggest if we're going looking for a potential fight, then we bring Frida with us, because I don't know about Brainard there, and no offense to the two of you, but neither one of you are warriors.
No, but we could always scout it out, at least.
True. You're very good at that. I don't know, how stealthy are you, Big?
My people have a habit of being fairly stealthy. I think I can do it.
Okay. So maybe if you and Celestial Passage want to kind of get the lay of the land, I don't know if Brainard wants to go with you or not, and I'll go back to the camp. Largely because if there's any sort of trouble, I'm not super stealthy unless I'm in the woods. So I don't want to bring undue attention to us and possibly start a fight where we're outnumbered.
It's fair enough. These people are being abused in every way that they can be. We kind of need to make this stop.
Like I told you, this is the good deed for the day, and apparently it's just rolling into another one. So
it's a big rock. It's not just the pebble.
So I'll just have to think better next time before I agree that we should do a good thing, or I should do a good thing. But I'll go back to the camp so I don't draw any undue attention, and you guys get the lay of the land.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to get a lay of the land, given that the area of interest is behind a palisade that is closed. You'd have to either climb or sneak in somewhere.
Do we?
Let's see now. I didn't see that roll.
So yeah, so Soren's going to make his way back to the camp. Hope to basically scrounge up some more food before Frida wakes up.
Yep.
And also because I need to go for a bio break. So.
Fair enough. So did anyone want to try to sneak in somehow?
Well, I'm considering it, but I'm also considering whether or not I'd be able to apply Farsight to see what's going on in there.
You'd need some willpower points for that.
Yeah.
I'm definitely incredibly stealthy, like super stealthy. But I really think we should try and like look at it from a distance instead of trying to go in there.
Well, it's a palisade. Unless you can find a tower nearby, it's kind of hard to see through.
That's the trouble there.
Hey,
it
you
only
just
goes
climb
down
a
to
tree?
the water, so if you had a boat, but then you don't.
Climb a tree, maybe get on their own level or something.
The trees are very far away.
Well, I say we've seen plenty, and we should go back and try and pick up the others, then come back in a more forceful manner.
That could be a good idea.
Very well, start back. I'll join you shortly. I'm going to concentrate and use words on the wind to try and listen on what's going. Try and find something that's going on inside the palisade.
But I don't think you have willpower points yet.
Oh no, I don't. Dang.
Yeah, at
I'm
start
gonna
you
steal
don't.
them all.
Yeah.
I'm stealing them all.
Well, you could try and use it. It just won't work.
I listen and I don't hear anything. Alas.
Exactly.
While this is all probably going on, Brainer's going to look around encampment for anything that the dwarfs didn't leave tied down and took back with them.
They were meticulous, sir. You can count
Figured as
on
much.
the Tribbletwine brothers to be such. Yeah, they did not leave a stone unturned. But they did leave, in fact, one iron ingot. Maybe
Excellent.
even two. There's also
We're
a bedroll
rich.
that someone forgot.
We can retire now. Huzzah!
Exactly.
Yeah.
Your life goal accomplished.
Yeah.
Brainer definitely will pack that into the nearest bag.
Excuse me? What are you doing?
Backing you up.
You guys are off doing your thing. I'll just put the iron ingot in my bag.
Exactly.
You know.
Couple of iron
Buy me a
ingots
drink
there.
next time.
It's going to be. I guess we can. Oh, is Jess also dealing with
Great.
this?
Just bio also.
Ah, very good. Okay, I'll wait their return.
Probably may as well just all take a break.
Nah. Everything burns when they're away, so they can't do any resistance. Ha ha! Got you now. No, but they were quite meticulous in packing their things. The dwarfs, as could be expected, given the temperament of the Tribbletwine brothers.
Yeah, and to Brainer's purpose, he was actually just looking exactly for an iron ingot, as some of his
Good luck for
magical requirements require iron shavings. So.
Ah, yes, that is absolutely true.
Well, you can have the shavings. I'll take the filings.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you could use some of those too.
Yep.
Let's see now. I will say that there is, in fact, in the camp a note. Yep, it's been left just by the waterside on a what do you call it? Like a short wooden. I lost the word. Sometimes I just lose English words. That's silly, but there we go. It can happen. A stump, a wooden stump. It's that hard. There you go. It's perfect. A wooden stump has a small note pinned to it. It's in Bodgar's handwriting, and it says "For Brennar." And by this note, there is a nice, very nicely polished set of scales.
Yeah, he definitely would go over and read the note.
Yeah, it says "For Brennar." Thank you.
Oh, okay. Then yeah,
That's all it says.
he will definitely take the set of scales.
Isn't that just a little convenient?
Well, he was happy that Brennar was so nice to him at the party. It's very hastily written.
He also taught me, was it him or one of the middle-aged one, taught me actually how to do blacksmithing.
That
so
was Thulman, yeah. The whiny
Yeah.
one.
yeah, that's the woman, the whiny one. Yeah.
Hey, I'm just making sure. Apparently, everywhere you guys go, you're dealing with demons and whatnot. I just want to make sure.
Oh, these are totally the scales of balance for the world. We gotta keep them in check.
Right, but with all the good stuff, there's also bad.
Right.
Also, Bodgar is a peddler, so he's using scales all the time for various reasons. So Frida will wake up. Quarter day has passed. It's getting towards noonish. Still no sign of movement from the Palisades.
So she wakes up, grumbles something about where did those idiots go now?
They went towards the Palisades.
And then they came back.
Ah,
Yeah, it was uneventful. No willpower.
You're still alive then?
So in
For
that
now.
case, it was eventful enough.
Did our little halfling friend was she where she was supposed to be?
For somebody who's so big on protocol, I have a name as well.
I wasn't talking about you. I know more than one halfling. Thank you.
They were talking about a halfling and you were there, so obviously not you.
We haven't made it inside the keep, I don't think, yet. We were waiting for you to wake up.
You need somebody to bust down the doors.
Well, we expect that we're going to be busting down the doors, and we would like your arm.
yeah,
enough.
we came across a couple of halflings that had been attacked by the riders, who went into the inside the Palisades.
The Saurians?
No, the Aslings apparently.
Wait, weren't those the ones, Brennar, weren't those the guys that were sniffing around Marita?
Possibly. I didn't hear that. Last I heard about the Aslins that was coming in.
There's some Aslan riders in town when we were shopping, and as soon as Marita saw them, she wanted to get the fuck out of there.
I know there was a couple there that was trying to rally up some troops to get rid of some Rust brothers.
Yeah, I mean, I can't see a reason why they would attack innocent civilians. Unless they're just, taking advantage of the chaos to satiate some sort of bloodlust or loot or whatever.
Quite possibly.
So I'm expecting we may run into trouble inside.
All right, well, let's eat first.
Yep.
Good idea.
You do
Frida
have,
will
at this point,
make
yes,
some
you do have
lunch.
to keep track of how much food you have, because the dwarves are no longer supplying you with foodstuffs or drink
Yes.
on your own.
You have to start taking dwarves out of bags.
How much food do you have left in various capacities, I wonder? Frida has cooked up a storm over the past few days.
I had a full deer that I was able to cook up before they left.
Are you gonna offer people that?
I have been.
How many meals have you offered so far?
Just one so far.
One so far. Okay, because let's see now. I'm just gonna have a look at that. Because when you hunt a deer, that is in fact 5 meat. There was 4 of you before, so that will leave 1 left.
Okay.
Or we could say it is still 5 because, the dwarves were helping out with ingredients.
Right.
And then you can feed everyone today, and the roll that Celestial Passage just made is not necessarily taken into account at this point, because you'll be...
Well, I also was wondering if that would auto-roll how much I had. Sorry.
No, it doesn't. It's what happens is that when I ask you to roll for food consumption from your stocks of food, you roll the food die, and if it comes up a 1 or a 2, I believe, if it comes up on a roll of 1 or 2, you get 1 value less, so your food supply is going down, so it goes from a D8 to a D6.
Oh, okay.
So you spend a bit of food, but it doesn't keep track much more than that. So it's just rolling the die until you roll a 1 or a 2 on the 6, and then you're out. So that's the abstraction of the consumables. But since Frida has brought down a deer, she can in fact feed everyone for this day. That will be the last of, I think, her...
So are any of you guys good at hunting? Because this is the last of what I have in stock. I can prepare it and cook it, and I can track it, but I have a hard time finding them. Once I find them, I can take it down. But...
If you share that keg that the halfling was so nice and gave to Bieg, you will in fact sate your water needs for today as well, but the keg will be empty after that.
I would gladly share, mostly as a peace offering to my big mouth, to everyone else in the party.
That's fair.
All right. Well, this sounds like a proper feast then. We have venison, we have ale.
Yep.
And yeah, when it comes to hunting, there's very little in the woods I can't do.
Excellent.
And,
Hopefully
You
you'll
can
be
kill
able
it,
to
I
show
can
us
prep
that.
it.
I'm all right in the woods as well, but not as good as our hunter in some cases.
Excellent.
and yeah,
So we shouldn't have to worry about starving. There's some woods not far to the north of this fortress. So
indeed.
although it does look like somebody's been harvesting a lot of trees.
It may be, yes. Tree stumps
That
everywhere.
would have been me. We were trying to outfit an army. We needed spears.
Yeah.
I can say also, for planning purposes, I added to the Forbidden Lands map, you can see the little white tracks there that, again, Hellhag Productions has designed those tokens to show where you have been before.
Oh, cool.
Those hexes have been explored.
Really good job.
Yes,
Yay.
I love it. So, just to keep track
So
of that,
let's
because I'm
eat.
sure it's going to be harder to keep track on as we move along in the story.
So once we eat, we will head back into the palisade and see whose teeth I have to kick in.
Everyone's, I suppose.
Apparently.
It's a teeth-kicking good time.
Indeed.
Okay, Frida has lots of rage and frustration she needs to vent.
Right. Yeah, the palisade will be, of course, the doors, the gates will be locked, the barred from inside.
What are they made out of again?
Wood.
Wait, so the hole that Oro found on the other side, can't we just go back in?
Yes, you can go there and use that hole. Yeah, for sure.
It'll allow us to get past the palisades.
Then you will have to go all the way around. And when you get all the way around, you will in fact see, again, signs of skirmishing and fighting. There is at least one dead Saurian lying maybe 20 meters away from the palisade with 2 arrows in its back. Its spear just lying there next to it.
What type of spear is it?
It's a short spear.
Saurians, aren't those the ones that Brainard and I escaped from
Yes.
at the beginning of the game?
Yep.
Excellent. I kind of spit on the body.
I will snatch up the. Is anybody here not equipped in case we run into trouble?
Hey, Brainard, you still have the ability to light shit on fire.
Renner looks over at Frida and basically says, "But yes."
Yeah.
What was that earlier about demons again?
It's a frailer thing. You'll get over it. Or not.
That's okay. If it makes you feel any better, people think that I'm a demon too.
You're just a
I've
warp.
tested her, she's fine.
Yeah. That is soothing. That is just perfect.
Can I have a scouting roll from, I guess it's Celestial Passage, who is the scout of the group? In this case, you do not get to use the spyglass, because it's too short range. But you still have, 7 dice, so... Alright, you see the danger way before it happens. Behind you on the palisade is, in fact, a fort guard who is stringing, bringing out arrows and stringing a bow and laying it towards you guys. No questions asked, apparently just ready to shoot.
A whistling point.
Okay, I will ready my sling.
Alright.
I will ready my spear.
Mm-hmm. Does that mean that I'm going to give you some initiative cards?
Looks like.
Only if he shoots at us first.
Oh, I'm not taking the chance.
Okay then.
Okay then. Everyone takes a initiative card. I will pick one as well. That was not the deck I wanted to have there. There we go. I had the wrong deck there. Now you can see the... Okay. There we go. I have myself a 7.
I'm on
I'll
6.
put it on the keep here.
I'm on 9.
I'm
Yeah.
on 8.
Michaela and Celestial. There we go. Who has the 2?
2. I'm taking up the rear. At 2.
No, this is in ascending
way
order.
around.
So number 1 goes first, which means that in fact, Bieg goes first. What do you want to do, Bieg? Michaela? You can see this fort guard is whistling, "Alarm! Alarm! Raise the alarm!" and pulling the bowstring. Hasn't shot yet, of course, because,
Do you have any way to
You're
shut
first.
them up?
You could try persuasion. They're within range of shouting, for sure, if you want to try to calm down.
You're on mute, Michaela.
I'm talking.
Yeah.
I will try and stop. We're friends here. We're just here to help. I'm a healer. These are my associates. As you can see, nursemaid over there. Perfect bedside manner. Don't worry about it.
Okay, we have a social conflict roll.
Did you just call me a nursemaid?
So I'm
Yes,
gonna
I
give
did.
you. Let's see now. It's. I'm gonna give you a -1 on this because of the company you keep right now, given Brannar and Frida. And so what you do then, Michaela, is you go in on your skill list for your manipulation, and on the miscellaneous skill, so not gear, but skill, I can do it for you this time just to show you how it works. You go at -1 like so. And then you pick the manipulation and you roll. There you go. That's a success. In spite of everything, this guard does not lose the arrow. The guard, hasn't had the chance to shoot yet, but at least this guard is not shooting yet. That means that we get to number 3. Who's that? Who's number 3? Is that Mike B?
I believe so.
Where'd you go?
Oh yes, that would be myself.
Yep. So your turn.
Well, looks like talk down the guard, so I will advance cautiously.
All right. There's terrible cover around here. These are plains. There's hardly anything to hide behind.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get up to the palisade where it's a lot safer,
Yes.
technically.
And you can certainly do that. If you do like 2 moves, you get up there. Number 6 is next.
I am going to see if Yeg is able to get us out of this social situation, or if I've got to boil blood.
All right, so you're holding your action. The guard is in fact, the arrow is there, but the bow has not been drawn, so the arrow is knocked. You're keeping terrible company, halfling. The guard is shouting down. You're not welcome around here. Get away. That wolfkin, not welcome in here. Nor is that man, and just glares towards Brannar. That's the guard's action. Number 8.
I will ready my sling just in case. But I will not yet loose the stone. It looks like Big has gotten this guy to take at least a pause. So I will move forward to maybe, like, if he does decide to fire, that I'm a better target than either Celestial Passage or Big.
All right. Yeah. And that brings us up to number 9.
So I will move in front of Brenner with my shield, which for the rest of you has large deer antlers attached to the front of it. And I will try to intimidate the guy to back off.
Okay. Let's roll for that. I mean, you have to succeed sooner or later, right?
Eventually, right? I will basically look at him and be like, obviously, if you know who I am, you know what I can do to you.
You get to add at least 1 die for your reputation. I think it
Would
might
that be
more.
to my base?
Let's see. Yeah, that's so. This is a skill modification, right?
Okay, so it's in the red die.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just gonna have a double check here. Reputation.
Hey, look, I did a thing!
You did a thing! Okay. Yes, the guard is, in fact, sort of ducking down below the palisade, keeping just the head ever so slightly above there to... and then bolting. Because you're scary.
Well, I did kill their leader.
You killed...
Well, technically I captured their leader, Brainard killed her, but they don't know that.
No, and you're known as, like, the vanquisher of demons in these parts.
That too.
Demon Slayers, in fact, I think, is a sobriquet for Brennar and Frida at this point.
We've taken, what, 1 each?
I gave you +2 reputation for your actions around here. Because you've changed the landscape. Not only have you destroyed a demon that was infecting the area, or 2, but you've completely changed the political landscape, if you will. Like, the place has burned, and how much you're culpable of that can be discussed, but, you know, the whole rioting, the revolt, the goblins, obviously the Saurians were just opportunists who took a chance when, unless someone talked to them that you don't know about. But things have changed enormously around here, and people are, as the farmers that you've seen moving away, things won't be the same from this day onwards, and you had a large hand in that. So I'm giving you 1 for demon vanquishing and 1 for changing everything. So that's why. But yeah, no, he will dodge down there, and he will. It's them. It's the demon slayers. You'll hear him shout behind the palisades, and you can hear running feet as well.
You'll hear Frida mumble something about, yeah, that's right, run, you little bitch.
All right.
So no confrontation now.
All right, everybody keep their eyes open, though, just in case.
Yeah.
So I will swap my spear for my sword.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Shing.
And keep my shield out.
For sure. Yeah, the gates are there. They are closed, barred from the inside.
Where's the hole?
The hole is, I'll show you on the map, it's right there.
I think based off of their welcoming party, for lack of better terms.
There will be one. You can hear them running inside.
Rosalind is either dead or did not make it to power.
And Narinda either currently still controls it and someone found it, or...
Someone found her body.
And based off what you've told us here, Soren, it's probably the Asselines that are currently controlling it.
Well, maybe. They're not really civilized folks.
Or at least helping out.
Oh, are those like incoming guards?
Well, I mean, right now you can't really tell what's happening on the inside.
Okay, gotcha.
So yeah, let's...
Not yet, anyway.
Not yet.
Sneak in the secret passage?
Yep, you can do that.
Sneak, 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 sneak.
Yeah, exactly. Sneak, 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 sneak. That's exactly it. Let's see now. I want to have one... Where can I find that? Just a second.
So is the tower still on fire, or they've managed to
Oh,
put
there's
it out
still
at this
fires
point?
inside. Yes, absolutely. You can see the smoke's rising. The fires in here have not burned out yet.
It's possible too that the guards are just reacting on instinct. Like if they don't have any leadership, they're just doing what they do, which is to keep outsiders out.
This is entirely
True.
true. It could be.
And
Like,
I'm very much an outsider.
Yeah, like it may not be malevolence on their part. It may just be, you know, holy shit, what do we do? What do we do? I don't know. protect the keep. So, I mean, it's not going to make them any less aggressive, but it does mean that if Pete gets a chance to talk to them, we might be able to talk away past some confrontations.
Who sneaks through first? Still want a stealth roll. I'm going to give you a +2 on the stealth roll because they were probably not expecting you to come from this direction.
I will. It went so well last time.
Indeed.
Oh, I forgot the +2.
Yes, you did.
Doesn't
but
matter.
That's fine. Cause
Well, I mean,
those...
the extras might be nice. Who knows?
Frida, despite her bulk being larger than any one of you, that does,
That's fine.
I still have 2 successes.
Yes, you
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, you didn't push
Manages to
yourself.
get yourself through, and you can see. I'll bring out your token. You can see. You'll be right here, and you can at least hear goings on from behind this house. This house, by the way, this one has been gutted by fires. The roof has collapsed in, and you can see also the keep has been severely damaged. There's soot all over the place. Half has this area of the roof has collapsed. Somehow they must have managed to control the fire at some point, or the wind was just blowing in the wrong direction for the rest of the keep to start burning. But some parts of the keep is still standing. But you can hear voices from inside there. So who's next to try to sneak in, or what does Frida want to do now?
I will wait to make sure the rest of the party gets in behind me and kind of guard their entrance.
Yeah, okay, who's next to try to sneak? This time I will require a roll from each one of you because you're going one by one, and it will have importance for who's where if some of you fail.
Soren will go last, just because I've got a missile weapon ready if I need to use it.
Sure.
Yeah, Raynor would probably follow immediately.
Okay.
I guess that means I'm going to go after him because I can't let the frailer go unattended.
Oh, Braynard and Frida are basically a package deal at this point until one of them pisses the other off.
All right.
Call that
So,
day Tuesday.
so base stealth, or am I adding still the +2?
Yes, you're adding the +2.
Okay.
No, it's going to be +2, not to the gear, but it doesn't matter in this case. It's to the skill, right? So you have 3
that
different...
got nothing in the skills, so I just put it in there. Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. You succeed, obviously. You're now sneaking up next to Frida, and there you are. Not a problem at all. Who's next?
Me.
Okay, roll. That works just fine. Celestial Passage has gained passage.
Celestially.
Celestially.
So that would leave it up to me with
Soren, yeah.
obviously far too much confidence. Probably saying something along the lines of, watch and you'll observe the true shadow.
Yeah,
And
the
it worked.
halfling's thinking if this big ass wolf can do it, I can do it.
Biag gets in too. It's quite easy for you to squeeze through that. It's really not a problem at all. It's where Frida was struggling to get through, there was no problem at all for you. And Soren gets through as well. Now the entire party is on the inside. You hear voices on the other side of this house. Where did they go? Someone should go up and check. Are they still there?
So I say we dart around the keep and go the other way.
You can hear also horses on the other side of the keep.
All right,
It's
we're
either
gonna
that
need,
or go through the flaming keep.
Yep.
well, we're gonna need to talk to somebody to see if we can find your halfling friend.
Okay, well, would you like to talk to the guards?
Is the door that we used to get into the keep originally still quasi intact?
Yeah, they are. In fact, they're lying on the ground. They're being broken apart, and they're just lying there in splinters.
Yeah, so we can sneak around. I'm not personally liking those horses.
So you said that part of the keep's still on fire?
The keep is not on fire. No, you can see fires. Some down on this side and up on this side.
Okay, well, let's go through the keep, because
Fire
if the door's broken down, she might have escaped.
Or whoever's currently in leadership might be in there.
And honestly, I went through too much fucking work for that bitch to live.
Well, if we jump the guards, take one of them prisoner, they would know probably who's running the show.
This is true, and between you and I, we might be able to talk them into just surrendering.
You
Yes.
scouting
You
roll,
guys are
please,
gonna
from
do all the talking.
Celestial
Sorry,
Passage.
I might be able to intimidate themselves into pissing themselves and surrendering.
Celestial Passage,
Better?
scouting roll, please. Where'd he go?
What?
Celestial Passage, please roll scout.
Again?
Yeah, you have the highest scouting roll, so whenever
Oh,
I need to.
scout. I thought you said stealth.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, scout. So it's a group roll, and you have
Yeah.
the highest. So that's what you're for. Indeed, you hear running steps from over here, and you will see shortly. There's a couple of guards running this way. They're just sort of slinging their sword belt around their waist and buckling it up as if they just got out of bed or something. And they don't seem to pay attention to you unless I roll very good for their scout, which I doubt because you all had like tons of successes. So I did not. Why did I? Oh, I added the wrong type of gear dice. There we go. So, bye. Yeah, no, they did not roll too well. They run past you.
Right, we need to decide where we're going, guys.
There's 3 of them.
We need to check the keep and see if Lorinda's still alive.
I say we go to the horse pen, release them, so that causes a little bit more havoc, and we can get through a little easier.
Because the place isn't chaotic enough.
Celestial
Nope,
Passage will be
never
able
too
to
much.
hear that the gates on this side are opening. And as shortly thereafter, you will hear horses riding away. Trotting away from the keep.
All right,
Will you mention this to the rest of us?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just kind of duck my head, like look through the crack to see if I can see if it's the same riders that we saw sniffing around Marita.
Since you're trying to find a good vantage point, and you can, because of the mayhem, some of the things that would have blocked your sight are no longer there. They've burnt down. So between the burned out tree stubs, you can see of various structures. You can see that, yes, these are indeed the Asleen riders that have been here before, and they're apparently leaving now.
It's the same ones that were chasing Marita, and now they're fucking off.
They could also just be looking for us outside.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, let's go through the keep and see if she's still here and still alive. And see if we can find Rosalind and then go from there.
Very good.
Are you sure they're not
Or
being...
dead bodies.
Yeah.
Okay. You see Braynar take his fishing hook, prick his finger, and spend 1 willpower. Mikael, I'm going to go ahead and activate Firewalker for the quarter day.
Yep, that seems reasonable given the fires around you. Since you have 2 levels of Path of Blood, you could do a safe casting, which allows you to remove 1 die from the casting. If you want.
Okay.
So that means that you roll 1 die instead of 2.
Okay. And let me just find it here. Sorry. Well, that's being difficult. Give me 1 second.
There we go. You reach out into the power dwelling in your own blood, in fact. You're feeling the magical energies and essences, the ether of it. You're drawing it out, pulling it with your will, a strand of your will from your own mind, just grabbing it and pulling it into yourself, and you're just sort of letting it wash over you and protect you from the fire. That power that you've now grabbed out of your own blood is your shield. And of course, Celestial Passage will notice that there is magic working going on, and sorcerers such as well. He did not ask the spirits quietly for permission, did he?
So I will look at Soren and say, Soren, I'll take the front if you want to take the rear.
Sure.
Okay. And
I'm literally just here because these 2 are here. I don't care about your friends or your dead bitch in the cellar.
that's fine. Your friends seem to want to come along and find my dead bitch in the cellar, so...
Yeah.
Alright, let's go search this fucking keep.
Well, given the damages, I'm just going to say that you can sneak in through some other way except the door, because the door will expose you a lot to, the guards that ran past.
Yeah.
But I will need the worst among you to roll a stealth roll for the group, because you might still bump into things. There's a lot of loose debris around here that you can bump into and make a ruckus that will alarm people.
My stealth is 5.
Yeah,
3.
There's someone else who has 3. Yeah, that sounds like the lowest. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the lowest. There's a bunch of 5s.
Yeah.
I'm pretty stealthy for somebody who's so huge.
Yep. Well, you
It's
have
the
a
fur. It
soft
quiets
paw.
the steps.
Exactly.
It does.
Soft paw.
Pads.
Maybe she's not big. Maybe she's just fluffy.
I'm very fluffy.
It's all floof.
It doesn't account for the 8 feet tall, though.
8 feet tall with the hair.
Frida has an afro.
All right.
I'm picturing Frida with like 80s hair.
Yeah.
So you want a stealth check? Sorry. Okay.
No bonuses for this one. That's a fail. Do you push it?
Yeah.
You succeed. Oh. You're just about to step on that one plank that will go creak when you notice how sooty it is, and you move your foot to the other one. Whew. Yeah, you will see, in fact, as you're walking in, to the keep, there is an older that guard captain that you saw before, who was sort of telling off one of those farmers. He's there and organizing the guards to look for you. One of them is finally making it up to the palisade to have a look and see where you are, but otherwise they're in a group there and checking things out. He seems royally pissed. But you have made it into the keep. So, there we go. There we go. And I'm gonna say that you are coming in from a hole in the wall sort of here. And I realized that I haven't actually added
The tokens for the rest of us.
tokens for the rest of you. This is true.
I was gonna say, because that's Lorinda's token.
Yes.
Why is Brainar's token bigger than the wolf?
Bonuses of being a sorcerer.
Charisma
Exactly.
bonus, yeah.
Ego.
Ego.
I'm
That's
gonna have
good.
to add the tokens for Biag and Celestial Passage later on. They're new characters. I'm gonna blame that and just do that. But that's how
They're in
you
our newness.
exactly. That's how where you get in through a crack in the wall there. The actual fireplace is of course completely empty. At this point, this is the least damaged area of the keep. Let's see now. If I get
So-
my directions right, you're actually coming in. Sorry, it should be more like so. There we go. Okay.
Since I've been up close and personal with her before, I will
Yep.
sniff for Lorinda's smell using my hunter's talent.
You can do that. Pay
I think I
willpower.
just burn a willpower to do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
You feel this as you start sniffing. I mean, your nose is absolutely overwhelmed by all the smells of fire around here.
Yeah.
But even so, you can spot the scent of your prey. You were up close and personal. You smelled her blood because you guys did slash her. She was hurt over the eye really badly.
Yeah.
And that's going to in fact lead you upstairs. We don't even need a map for this. You're going
That's
up.
not a good sign.
You go up a flight of stairs to, and that's the flight of stairs. If you didn't know, so there to the upper floor, which is organized much more like living quarters than the below. And in there, in one of the chambers, the main bedroom, you find Lady Narinda lying in her bed. She's sleeping very heavily. She has been bandaged over the eye. She has taken... Her entire head is just bandaged. Lots of bandage. You can't even see if she smells a bit burned, in fact.
Would I be able to do a healing
No.
check?
No. No. The wolfkin will step in your way. We don't heal her. She's a bad guy.
She needs our help.
No, she doesn't. She needs to die. She's a demon worshipper.
And of course, if you want to do a coup de grace, you will have to fail that empathy, pay a willpower, and pay a point of empathy.
You want to take this one, Brainer, or shall I?
I didn't kill her right the first time.
I'll let you try first.
Maybe she was under some sort of influence.
No,
We've
we've tried that already.
We talked to her, and yeah.
Technically, Michaela, you are allowed to roll a manipulation roll to make them stop. The problem with doing that is that if you succeed, they have to submit or attack you. So
I'm gonna try and make friends with people far more powerful than me right now.
So yeah, that's the options that the game allows us to pursue.
I'll quietly point at Frida for Big's person to get friendly with.
Now that we're inside and range isn't as much of an issue, I'll put away the sling and I'll draw my hand axe and the one I picked up off the guard outside.
For sure. If any of you, Soren, Biag, or Celestial Passage, want to roll an insight just to check on the emotional state of Brennar and Frida, you're free to do so.
Yeah. That's. I'll do that.
Are they murderous psychopaths, or are they in fact convinced of this story?
Yeah.
Oh, everybody was rolling. Soren has no idea. Celestial Passage, the only sense you get from them is, well, you can describe your feelings. Because
Rita fully believes that she is a demon worshiper and that they're all demons and demons killed her best friend and she is in mourning. And they all need to just die.
Okay, a little unhinged. It's still good.
But you can blame most of it on the mourning.
well, I mean, it doesn't seem to be completely without, reason that she's this level of angry. And if they are indeed demon worshippers, then, then they're at least not good people. And then we can discuss whether this type of action is advisable or not. But, yeah. It doesn't seem like they're necessarily, on a rampage for the sake of being on a rampage. This is about, avenging a fallen comrade in arms and a firm belief that the woman who's lying there and is broken from damage most clearly and that she is in fact evil.
Shame I can't just go sniff, yep, demon.
No, this is, that's
That's a different game.
Is she tainted by the worm? Who knows? You don't have that gift.
I would definitely try.
Oh, you muted yourself.
Muted.
You're muted.
Love the self-mute.
Like making flourishes. I would definitely try to persuasively, I guess. Because at my point, with the little insight that I was able to glean, I would think that, she needs to be brought to justice rather than just killed in her sleep. And I think that would be pretty morally anachronistic for anything that I could stand up to be.
But if she's the person in power, she's not actually going to face justice.
Exactly.
Unless there's actually, like, a king, but there isn't.
But there's not.
There's no king.
We could,
The law out here is...
The Lord, or whoever's strong enough.
Yeah, exactly. Whomever is strong enough out here is the law. And right now, you're not strong enough to impose law here because there's a whole gaggle of guards outside who will fight you over this, no doubt, given how much they have been fighting already. So
However,
yeah,
if we take her out, they may lose that ambition.
possible, yeah. Or pursue
Or if
you
we
to the
use
ends of the
her-
lands in vengeance of their fallen leader.
we could persuade her to maybe call off the rest of the people in safe passage and then take her out. in a
Rainer,
more-
didn't we try that last time?
Brainer at this point will actually dig in his satchel for an inkwell and parchment.
Yep.
Are you doing more magic shit?
No, I'm writing a letter.
Okay.
Like a last will and testament for this lady?
No,
Like a
if,
suicide note?
Suicide
work.
note when there's like an axe wound in her face. I rolled over and dove onto my axe. I miss you all.
Right. We are burning time before guards find
Yeah,
us.
I'm done talking. So I'll make that empathy roll for you.
All right.
Go for that fail.
The one time I want to fail, you watch.
Isn't that when you push it for no good reason?
Can I push to fail?
No. You failed.
Yes!
Wow.
You have to now pay a point of willpower and a point of empathy.
I will do that, and I will, Do I want to strength? No, I'll just slice her head off.
She's just lying there. The sword.
Well,
up and
I will-
down.
Don't
I
even
will-
need to make the attack?
Say again?
Do I need to make an attack?
No, not at all.
Okay.
It's just
I will
done.
do my best to shield to shield Big from this display.
So as Big's talking and trying to, like, reason us out of it, Frida just turns around and goes, chop.
Pointedly, as Frida reaches for the weapon, I turn around and look away, as
Yeah.
if I see this coming.
It's like, done talking.
It's done.
Yeah.
That might indeed mean that you are in fact also done with Fort Riverstone.
Yeah.
Now you just have to make your way out.
I'll take her head, just in case.
No, just leave it. If we get caught by the guards on the way out, I don't want to have to explain why you're carrying around the head of the leader.
It's not a Christmas ornament. I think we should just leave it what it is.
You sure I can't use it for an intimidation tactic?
Rita, leave it here.
Alright.
All right, we need to book it before we're found by guards. That means your halfling friend is on their own.
Okay, that's fine.
We must move.
I'm done with this cursed town.
Well, I will want you to have another successful stealth roll to get back to the hole.
Oh, they've moved around since we left.
Yes, they have.
All of us?
Yeah, it's going to be the worst one of you again.
So,
Depends on
Yay.
where you want to go out, of course. If you want to go out that way, it's going to be much easier.
why don't we just walk at the front gate? The guards aren't
Yeah, I
there
can take
anymore.
a
They're
quick
looking
look
for
and
us
then go,
elsewhere.
hey, it's clear, let's run.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, if you can
B-rolled. You're making noise as you're moving out towards the palisade doors.
Yeah,
I'm sure Bieg managed to kick a bucket on the way.
Or he's cursing Frida out for killing the leader.
Yeah. And
That's probably more likely.
they will hear it.
Why
and they
did you
will,
do that?
What was that? And you're running out the palisade doors because they have been left ajar.
At this point in juncture, assuming they don't resist, I will pick Big up and just book it.
Yep. Yeah, you can do that. In fact, I'm going to allow you to.
Assuming they don't resist.
No, well, yeah, Bieg won't resist. 8-foot wolf can just whoop up the shoulder, and out you run. You're clear out of the palisade right now. And you can hear the alarm bells go off, sort of. You can hear shouts and screaming. Well, where did that sound come from? It came from over here. Let's go. They have to be here somewhere.
Could someone make it sound like the Lancers did it?
And as you run out and you're closing the gates behind you, you can see that someone spots you. They're over there. And they are running towards this area. But you can also see that they're not coming out after you.
I will do my best to lead the group in a northeasterly way,
Away from town?
away from town. I'm not sticking around.
So this is, in fact, then you traveling for a quarter day somewhere not Fort Riverstone. Is that what we're saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
We need to get the fuck out of town.
I don't know what you're talking about. I feel perfectly fine and safe.
You do.
Frida may have to take that cold-blooded talent after all.
Possibly.
Would,
We'll see.
Would Beg have remembered in which direction the halflings were going from before?
They were going in the southeasterly direction, so along the river. This
We've
is
already been there.
northeasterly. So I want to have a lead the rollway. No, lead the way roll.
That would be Chris.
Lead the
Yeah.
way roll.
Such a good skill.
Yes. Because now we're exploring new territories.
One.
One success. Who is keeping watch? Could it be Celestial Passage? You do.
No. Yeah.
You get to use your spyglass. Look at that. Not a problem at all. Yeah, so you're marching across the plains. And I'm sure that you're... well, you did feed yourself properly earlier this day, so your stomachs won't be too growling. But it's been long and it's been intense, and maybe it's good to get Fort Riverstone behind you. It's actually a quite brilliant day. A few clouds on the sky. By now, it must be double-digit temperatures, centigrade for American watchers, viewers. That means, what does that even mean in what, like 50s? Or
Nice.
something? Yeah, it's
Yeah, it would be like high 40s.
yeah, high 40s
At least.
Yes. It's not warm, but it's also not, uncomfortable.
What are you talking about? It's t-shirt and shorts weather.
Yes.
Weather for those of us who don't, have their own internal heating blocks.
Oh,
Exactly.
I'm sorry.
Um.
Some of us still get cold.
And as you're moving there, it's getting late. The sun is getting low on the horizon, towards the horizon, where you can see it's this lonely little tree. You're on the close to the forest, of course, so there will be copses of woods a little bit scattered across the plains. You can see this one tree that has something that looks like a green cocoon in it. Really large cocoon from a distance, like huge cocoon, if it's a cocoon.
I've seen that movie. It's not a good thing.
Whatever it is, you spotted it far enough away that that there's no risk for an ambush or anything like that.
Do you know what that is?
Never seen anything like it.
Lore
New to me.
check?
In the woods.
Yeah,
you
lore
should know
check.
these sort of
That
things.
would work. Who has the best lore?
I have a 6.
I'm also sitting at 6.
So you two make a lore check.
Dueling
Go ahead,
lures.
Celestial.
Oh.
Never seen anything like this. Whatever this is, you would say is, in fact, not animalistic at all. In fact, you can see it flutter a little bit in the wind. It must be some kind of strangely shaped canvas.
Like a banner?
No, it's too roundish. It's like a huge canvas egg.
I've never seen that would massive.
Seed pod or something?
No, it does look more like what you'd see from a molting insect or some other rare species.
Yeah.
Would I be
So-
able to use my medicine to see if maybe anything was alive in there?
You can't see any creatures right now. You'd have to get much closer to do that.
And it's getting on nighttime?
Yes. You can
We can either not stay here and try and just get the fuck away from it, or I can poke it with a stick and see what happens.
yeah.
I'll let you guys decide.
I don't think we're going to push on too much further before we have to set up camp for the night. I'd rather know what that is before we camp.
Whatever that is probably going to attack us while we're sleeping.
Stand back then, boys. I will go up and kind of poke it gently with my spear?
It's too high up in the tree for you to poke it with a spear, but you could throw your spear at it if you want.
Gently.
Sure, I will throw my spear at it then.
Gently. Yeah, throw in the gently.
Gently.
As you get closer,
What's it smell like?
you can hear a voice from up there going, "Stay away!"
Oh, it's a person!
It's definitely like a canvas egg that's billowing and stuck and entangled in the trees. There's lots of ropes around.
Oh
this
no,
thing.
Somebody's parachuting?
That's exactly what I think happened. Are you okay?
We can help!
I have a crossbow and I'm not afraid to use it!
Oh, shut your mouth, I'll cut you down. I will climb up and cut them down.
You can see, sort of coming out of the foliage, is a very red-faced dwarf.
Are you stuck or did you
A
move up
blonde
there?
beard.
Does
Is this
he
a
look to be
domicile?
tangled in his ropes, or is it like a hunting perch kind of thing?
It seems like there is in fact a perch under there. Attached to this canvas, now that you have a closer look, there's a whole bunch of ropes and it goes down to like a basket. And he's sitting in the basket.
It's like a treehouse kind of?
Yeah, it's like a treehouse with lots of canvas on top of it.
This is interesting.
Weird. Hey, Big, come talk. It's a person.
I don't
I
know.
want to study the structure.
Yeah, no, we just kind of like destroyed his blind. Do you really want to?
I didn't throw the spear.
He yelled at us before we got
He
that.
yelled it at me before I threw the spear.
Well, then let's talk to them and see if we can, not get ourselves killed for a few minutes.
Yes, let's put that big mouth to use.
Go
I'll
ahead.
show you that later. Yeah, so I would definitely call out to try and see if I can. Hey, we're friendly here. We're not. We thought you were a giant caterpillar, so obviously we were kind of scared or wanting butterfly wings.
Feel free to roll your manipulation with a +1 to your skill because there's lots of you.
While Big is talking to the guy, I'm assuming that they're either going to talk to him or they're going to kill him, so I'm just going to start setting up camp.
Fair enough. Yeah, so this dwarf lowers the crossbow because there is one there. Well, just who are you? I mean you no harm. Oh, you're muted again.
I'll get it eventually. I'm big, and these are my littles, and we're here to. Yes, you are. We're here to find some rest for the night. We seen you in your perch, and how can we help you?
I'm stuck up here. I'm stuck. I crashed here. I didn't intend to. I need to repair things. I can't get off of here.
Well, we can definitely try and either climb up and pry you down from your dirigible or whatever it is.
I'm not
you're
coming
in.
down.
Fair. How can we help you?
I can unstick you.
I need some help for my leg and for my balloon. It's broken.
Well, if you want help with your leg, we need to bring you down.
No, I'm not coming down. I'm telling you, I'm not coming down.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I can go up there. I can mend your leg.
I can fix the balloon.
Yeah, you're full of hot air, so you should be able to help that out.
Not wrong.
I mean,
Okay,
fire.
so-
Yeah. Ooh.
Anyone who wants to climb can roll a move. Actually, I'm gonna let you get. Well, if you fail with your move, you might hurt yourself, and that could count. So
I will climb up Do you want me to try and carry Big up?
I'll push.
Sure. I'm sure Big can climb herself.
I got a bit of a bottom.
Frida, you might just want to take longer to get up there.
Yeah, I'll push.
Everybody's terrible at climbing tonight.
I feel like saying, "Oh my God, get out of the way," and then failing on my own.
Nope. I still can't climb.
Can you just put me on your stick and throw me up there?
Yeah, exactly. No, you're having really trouble to find a good way up.
And while they're doing this, I imagine like Soren's like getting some firewood, looks over his shoulder, puts the fire together. What the fuck?
And I mean, you do have to roll your make camp roll.
Yep.
Do you have any bonuses on that?
Nope. I'm not sure yet whether they're going to need my help or whether I'm actually going to be spending the quarter day setting up camp.
Well, if we can't get up the tree, we can always chop it down.
Right. So Soren will be like, "Goddamn city folks."
Be careful there! It's a branch that won't hold you. I told you it wouldn't hold you.
Yeah, well, you're not helpful either.
Yeah, nobody can get up into the tree and it's getting dark, so you need to set up camp to get a proper rest.
I can cut the tree down.
I suppose you can. Or you can just wait until tomorrow and do the whole thing again. Ooh, Celestial Passage is the only one who gets up.
Leave it to the elf.
By the damn spirits.
But the question then is, Celestial Passage, what are you going to do up there?
Would I be able to give rope, perhaps, to
did you have rope all along? That's a +2 on climbing.
I don't want to use it for nothing.
It's like, oh good, Soren's up here with
It's not
me.
gonna be
We can lower him down on his own bat.
I tried. I tried.
Michaela,
I
the
looked
rope
at it,
won't
said,
be spent.
I looked at the tree and said, "You know what? Not worth it. I've done my one good deed for the day."
Yeah,
and then I went back to making up the camp.
And you do, and you succeed in it as well, which is good.
Yeah, I had to push to succeed, but I succeeded.
But you did. So in this game, Michaela, you don't spend the rope until it actually breaks. So that's +2 gear bonus to your move roll, which is 2 black dice.
Okay.
It's kind of funny to watch everyone trying to climb that tree and failing miserably. Now you add, so if you go into your equipment, miscellaneous gear dice, that's how you do it.
Or you
There
click
you
the
go.
number, yeah.
And it
on the
still
blocks.
doesn't work.
Oh wow.
Nope.
Yeah, none of you is getting up the tree during this quarter day.
Well, I can try and tend him up
low.
here, but I'm nowhere as good as the others.
Yeah, except for Celestial Passage, who clearly did get up.
I'm sitting there beside him. I could try to tend you, but I'm not as gifted as some of the others.
Yeah, you can absolutely
Or
try.
you could just come down the damn tree.
Trying to fix the balloon will take longer, of course.
As opposed to the injured dwarf.
Exactly. Now, feel free to roll the healing. At least you can assuage the pain. This dwarf has broken his leg.
Nope.
Nope.
Not terrible though, but nope. At least it didn't snap it the other way.
You push it.
He could, but will he?
Willpower. All the willpower.
I don't have willpower.
No, you get willpower by pushing it.
Oh, okay.
Yes, you
He
do.
gets skulls.
If your roll fails on your white dice.
Yeah. Well, we're going to be
you did.
camping soon anyway.
I pushed. I failed.
Yep. You
still get
gain,
willpower.
1 point of willpower.
Excellent. I can actually do magic stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
You also lose 1 point in that attribute to damages. It's like, in mutant.
My
about
poor
to sleep,
poor
though?
empathy.
Yes. On the other hand, you're going to rest for a quarter day
Yep.
after this and regain it. Which also means that, the rest of you who are going to rest, Frida has lost 1 point of empathy as well. Is anyone else hurt in any way? I don't think so.
I took some wits damage when I was trying to figure out where the villages were.
Right. Okay. So yeah, you can rest that up. Who's going to keep watch when the rest of you are resting at night?
Rainer will keep watch.
All right.
Why don't you forage while you're doing that?
You can't do the both at the same time.
Oh, okay, never mind then.
Yeah.
And so it is that the night comes on this long, long day, which was the 12th of Springrise. You have moved away from Fort Riverstone. You're heading northeast towards new adventures, and you're in the wild. And that is, I think, an excellent place to wrap up this session. No idea what adventures await you up northeast. There is a village. If you move another day, you should be able to get there. You can get 2 hexes per quarter day. So you should be over open terrain, so you should be able to get there before nightfall. And who knows what might be in there. If that's where you're headed, you might just turn south. I have no idea.
As long as we, stop leaving wreckage and chaos in our wake, we'll be fine.
Exactly.
Just so we can plan out.
Yeah.
So we have. I don't think we have any actual food left. I think we finished off the deer and everything.
We have like 1 piece of deer left.
For tomorrow, you will have to. Yeah, exactly. There's
So we would have to hunt and cook.
Tomorrow, you will either have to hunt or use
forage
some of your consumables. You do have consumable stuff still on you: hardtack, dried fruits, jerky. Those food dice that you have on your character sheet still there. So you're not.
That's just merely surviving, not thriving. So
this is true.
Yeah. So it's going to come down to how quickly do we want to put distance between us and Fort Riverstone?
Say we could spend a quarter
further
day
the better.
hunting and foraging.
Well, going into the woods will speed up our leaving them behind since they're horseback.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're not gonna. They will likely assume that we're sticking to a path.
As long as you stick to the sort of lightly shaded greens of the forest, it still counts as open terrain. You're not in deep forest in those territories, so you still move 2 hexes per quarter day. When you get to the dark green, that's when you just slow down to 1 hex per quarter day, because it's 2 brambles.
So straight north we could do 1.5.
Yeah, pretty much.
There is like a little. It looks like there's another little fort in the middle of the woods up there too.
Yeah, and a little village on the river.
Yeah.
If we cut through the Lightwoods. But that's open terrain.
So what I'm thinking, if we want to put as much distance as possible between us and Fort Riverstone and possible horseback, is we head into the deeper woods and then we bank east until we hit the river and follow that around to the village.
I'm fine with that. It would make hunting and foraging a lot simpler.
Yeah.
If we take our time, I can feed us en route.
Yeah.
Keep us alive and we're happy. So.
Yeah.
Like I said, is anything you kill, I can easily prepare.
All right. So we'll head into the deeper woods to the north, and then we'll hook to the east, towards the river.
Okay.
So taking into account hunting and foraging along the way, that's going to be
2 or 3 days, yeah, I think.
4, 5, probably 4 days, I think, by my calculations.
Depending on how deep you go, exactly, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Just in case game is scarce, people do have rations and water and everything, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
I can also forage if we can't hunt.
Perfect.
That's survival, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a ton of that.
Yeah. So we can even split into like a hunting team and a foraging team.
Mm-hmm.
You could.
Spend the morning gathering resources, travel after lunch, set up camp. So If we do well enough with the hunting and the foraging, then Frida can prep the food, and then we won't have to hunt and forage every day.
Yeah.
All right. I think we have a plan to put Fort Riverstone behind us.
You do indeed. All right then. So that's the end of Spring Rise 12th. Spring Rise 13th is coming. Lucky 13, right? Yes.
Woo!
Maybe not.
Yeah.
So that was that
The
long
lesson
day.
I think we've learned is we don't use goblins for a coup.
It worked fine.
They did their job.
How about don't start a coup?
That might be a thing too. Who knows? And elsewhere in the Forbidden Lands, people have been plotting and planning and scheming. And this happened a few days ago. So you will be invited to take part in that council, or watch it if you want to. For my players, have a good night.
All right. Thanks. Nice seeing you again, Michaela. I haven't seen you since the whole COVID thing.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's great seeing everyone, talking to you, being an invisible box.
Yeah.
Meant that I
Season
didn't
one.
Possible
I
outcome.
couldn't get called out on gesticulating when I was trying to speak muted.
That's okay. We were
Okay,
all like
Dave,
that in our first game.
What does
I still kind of do sometimes.
Every once
Crassilla's
in a while.
Tower?
The interior of Priscilla's
See ya,
Tower.
guys.
Have a good one, folks.
Yeah.
Come in,
Yeah, we'll see
and
you
there
guys.
are some
See ya.
Rust Brother Iron Guard, and their uniforms are particularly shiny and well embellished. The interior of the receiving room of Priscilla, through which he normally appears through a dark doorway, is very sumptuous. It's very clean. It smells faintly of lavender and some kind of oily undertone. There are rich tapestries on the wall. The overall color palette is a kind of a dark purple. And there are actually a disturbing number of skeletal taxidermy exhibits around the room of creatures that you may never have seen before, unknown creatures. All of the bones picked entirely clean, but then wired together and reassembled in various artistic poses.
Indeed. And obviously the doors have to be large enough for Sutera to get in, or are you going to have the meeting sort of with Sutera outside the tower?
Oh no, there's a large set of double doors, and then within that are, the doors are 20 feet across, and then a smaller door inset within the larger doors for just regular human interaction. So yes, we'll open the grand doors into the receiving chamber.
As is proper.
Indeed. In Karatorda's retinue have arrived earlier this day. You'll be able to see the rest of them down by the Iron Guard housing complexes. Karatorda himself is making his way up the stairs towards the tower.
So, right, as I make my way up, I'm carrying a big satchel, big cloth-covered thing. Just reciting in my head prayers to Rust and getting in the right mindset for this council meeting. The prophet and great general.
Indeed. They await you as you come in.
I step into the chamber and I bow as is customary, and I straighten myself again. My lords, my lady, I have come to this meeting as summoned. I have news from the Forbidden Lands. Are there anything we need to discuss in beforehand?
Go on.
You may speak.
Yes, as my letters to General Casilla here states, and probably Brother Rembrero already told you, news about Surtorm's gathering of an army reached me on the Springrise the 1st. So I took to myself to inspect the villages and settlements and keeps around that we are under our control, to make sure that up to date. So I left Hagel's house on the Springrise the 2nd. Then the first village I came to, the soldiers there were obviously very, very eager to protect us and the lands and Rust. But they talked about orc raids from the Arena Forest, just north. So I gave them instructions. Any orcs you see, any orcs you capture, they're perfect for the cause. Told them to reinforce the walls, to train the militia, to if they need some resources, just let us know, and we will have to accommodate. Then I left with my retinue. Second village, just I want to say northwest of, just west of Oakhurst Creek. Same there, pristine soldiers, well armed, palisades up and running. Just before dinner, a worker from the mines north of the village came, and he told us that the keep has been raided by orcs. So of course I went to investigate. I sent 4 reinforcements from the village, but I went ahead with my retinue and my bodyguards to see if there was anything I could glean from it. When I came there, most of the workers were either dead or captured, and all the stone mined has been stolen too. So I spoke to one of the dead, and he told me orcs attacked us from everywhere, frothing at mouth. It took us in seconds, minutes. And he pointed me in the direction they ran, and I followed. 2 days I followed. Then I made contact with the orc forces, led by an Eldog the Ravager, whom I challenged to a duel for the slaves and the stone and the general honor. Never thinking that savages like those would accept. But they did, and they honored. Almost. He is from the Aesir orc clan. They have cloven tongues and some weird frothing at the mouth. Smell pungent. So we crossed blades. I struck him down, but he got back up, reinvigorated by, I don't know, some orcish foul play. So I have to draw my sorcerer's powers to end it, which I did. He ran away. Unfortunately, I didn't get the slaves or the stone, but I got this, and I pulled this clothed item and just present it. It's a double-headed, two-handed war axe of orcish design with the glyph of rust embedded in the heads. I took this as a trophy and as a final show of force. I present it to you to do whatever you please.
This is the orc leader's axe?
Yes.
Excellent. So orcs are raiding our settlements and our mines. That is not good. What do you propose we do about this?
I'd say either burn the entire forest or strike them with the hurts. Take their resources, take their poke. But maybe not in open conflict, since we have the Ashley threat to consider.
Yes. Yes. Yes, we must not weaken ourselves too much. For, as you say, our greater enemies are abound. Yes, but perhaps some raiding and of our own could do the thing, yes. Priscilla, what say you?
Well, I think this assault against... and Priscilla, I should say, is at this point just a shapeless mass of quivering flesh, roughly the size of an elephant. And as he speaks, various tentacles and protuberances, occasionally a face rises up through the flesh to glare furiously at the other Rust Brother generals, and then is subsumed back into the quivering organic material. So Priscilla trembles in rage and says, "This outrage against the Ochre Creek fortress must be avenged." I'm very grateful to our fellow Rust Brother general for restarting the stone production, even though he had to use undead creatures to do it. But I think that stone masonry requires living hands to form precise joints and mortar. I think we should try and recover the Ochre Creek fortress, and I think we should attack the orc lands and villages and let them know that orcs are about to return to the place that they had under the elves and dwarves, to a species of subservience. And I believe that our armies should press forward to the north, where they can fight both the orcs and whatever threat from the human horse riding clans may approach, which is also from the north. I also think that in each of our villages we should perform a special proclamation saying that the 3 strongest lads between the age of 15 and 25 are called forth to the Ochre Creek region to serve to restaff this fortress.
How many days march are the orcs from us now?
From you now, I will bring up the map. So, I have an actual physical map in my hand because it's lovely. So,
how uncommon is it for the orcs to come to this location?
There's been rumors of orc raids, mostly against sort of poorly defended, poorly armed merchants and other sort of civilian travelers. Against your bigger settlements, they've been less active. But you have orcs both in the forest right north of your area, Arena Forest, which is where Karatorda chased them, but also in the Groveland woods, which are southeast of your domains. Basically, your domains follow a river up a river valley, and you have the lands that are arable, the plains, the floodplains around that river, and on both flanks you have forests, and on the left flank, the north flank, you have orcs in those forests, and on the right flank, the southeast one, you have orcs and some wolfkin, both of whom of these kin will take whatever they can whenever they can. So that in itself is not a new thing. Maybe the new thing is that this force was hitting something as big as a Rust Brother controlled quarry.
Yes. And the orcs in the different forests, are they different tribes or the same general?
Well, given Citra's very high lore skill, I would say that you would know that they are of the same clan.
Gotcha.
On both sides. There are other orc clans, but they are further away from your territory.
Yeah, that's. I know that they're different ones, but yeah, if they were the same, okay. All right. Yes. So, but they have left the fortress. You know, the orcs had just taken what they needed and left.
Yes.
They didn't keep it.
I have stationed a retinue of maybe a dozen soldiers there at the moment.
Well, yes.
Should strike against their children.
Yes.
It is precious for the orcs. And if we take away the hope of their future, that might give them something to think about.
It is. I do question the wisdom of making too strong of an enemy of the orcs at this moment. Again, we have enemies who are more focused on our destruction rather than just random raids. So if we make too strong enemies of the orcs, they also will be interested in our destruction rather than just our stone. But there certainly needs to be retribution. This is very true. We cannot stand weakly and abide this kind of behavior from them. It is our stone. We should have it. I think perhaps a threefold retribution is proper. You know, not too much, but letting them know that if they continue this, it will hurt them dearly. It would be preferable if we can make them choose to go elsewhere and cause trouble for others, and thus weakening them while we go stronger.
It was some time since I had someone to experiment on. If we could get two children and merge them together, give them something, a message to tell them, you can keep the stone for now, but if you come again, this will be just the beginning.
Sending messages is always nice. I do approve of this. I'm not so sure about them keeping the stone, though. That is what they were after. That is what we should take from them. If we can. Yes. I do think Crasilla's general plan is a generally good one. Yes, we need to strive north, push further, expand, draft more bodies is always a good idea. Yes.
How does your resources look like, Hertorida? Do you have anything left?
At this moment, yes, I do. That shipment of stone was supposed to be paid in taxes to Hagler's house. But I'm not running low on anything at the moment. I do need some resources for the villages to fortify palisades, maybe upgrade to stone walls, but hence the stone.
See? And what about military resources?
All the villages have their their own militia, fortified with iron guards. And they should be able to stave off any raids or attacks long enough for reinforcements from the nearby villages or Hagel's house, or even here, depending on where. But the northern villages are the ones I'm concerned about. Moorshire, Oaken Creek, even Willow's Keep. So
how many iron brothers do we have here in Vaughn that we could perhaps send out? Would that be possible?
You have about, I think it's north of 100, if I recall correctly. It's quite a few. I did a calculation on that.
I'll search back through it.
Yeah.
I've been in this land now for more than 2 centuries, but sometimes I forget that the little human peoples and orcs and stuff, they actually have separate motivations. Perhaps now that I've remembered that, perhaps we could take our revenge against the orcs by having the orcs kill themselves in fighting our enemies, the horse riders. Perhaps we should hire the orcs as mercenaries and have them perform our revenge on themselves by killing themselves fighting our enemies.
Now you are thinking correct. Yes, this is good idea. Yes. Yes, I do. This is an excellent idea. I am, perhaps slightly concerned that if we only come to them now and offering them money, they will see us as weak and they will try to do this again. Come steal from us, we will pay them off, and they will go elsewhere. So I do think there needs to be a blood price, but perhaps a smaller one then. Just, take back what they stole, kill a few of them, and say, look, do not do this again. In fact, we will pay you to fight somebody else. Yes, this is a good idea. Clever thought of you. Yes. And this axe that you have brought us, that can certainly serve as a reminder that although, yes, they were successful in their raid because we did not expect it, they will not be successful again. We do have power that is stronger than theirs, and we will take their lives if necessary.
We can do something with that axe. And then we can give it back as a surprise.
What do you have in mind?
Flames. Fire.
Fire.
Destruction.
Yes.
Well, why don't we combine that with your earlier idea? We'll capture a couple of orc children, and you can sew them together into an axe creature that breathes flames, and then we send that to say to the orcs, this is one future for you to choose, or you have another future to choose. We are here, no matter what, we are going to make Rust great again. Where are you going to fit into that?
Great.
I like that.
Again, if I may, Rust is already great. It needs to be greater.
Absolutely.
Yes,
I like that idea.
Idea of a gruesome message. Orcs are brutal people. They will understand brutal language. Yes, I like this. I like the idea of sending some of our garrison up north to reinforce the areas there who are most vulnerable. And then while we are drafting further people, as by Chrysilla's suggestion, and yes, reinforce, retake the keep, pay the orcs a visit, give them a message, and then give them an offer. This seems sensible to me.
Is it decided then?
Pardon me?
Is there anything else we need to discuss?
I have nothing of further import that requires all of our attention at this moment. Any of you?
Ska vi ta det då? Krasilla?
I think
Speak
that's
up.
a good consensus. I think we have a workable plan.
Seems reasonable. I'm just a humble mortal man. Just a pawn in your game.
Yes.
So,
It is as it should.
You are both very good at your respective tasks, and you are quite valued.
I
Yes,
can,
remember value.
at this time, I am willing to commit from my garrison at Vond 55 Iron Guard and 50 Rust Brother Militia for whatever expeditionary force you wish to assemble.
This sounds excellent to me.
Much generous.
Yes. The Rust Prince, I assume, can take charge of this force and do what he needs with it.
of course.
Excellent. Well then, let's get to it.
And so concludes the conference in Crasilla's Tower.